soy protein.
And we're live.
So, oh, hello.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on this lovely Tuesday. Appreciate everybody coming back. Getting stoked on exploring a little bit more. I had planned on sending an update to you guys with everything that we had chatted about in the last session, but then, it's my birthday, so.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Jody.
Yay.
Happy birthday to the best yam.
It's my birthday, and I'll nap if I want to, and I took a nap. So I took a nap. So yeah. So we'll do a nice little intro for last week, just to remind everybody of what had happened, and then we move on from there. So, doop-a-doo. Music. Audio. And... Alrighty. That should be about right. So, last we left off, the party having made their way into the Grandfather Tree, an ancient entity referred to as an Arakor, tree guardian spirit of some kind that protected over the high forest inside Faerun. They took some time, eventually going through and killing off a series of engorged, enlarged fire ants of some kind, but far more monstrous than those that would normally have existed in nature that had burrowed beneath the Grandfather Tree. A battle ensued with an entity that was demonic, abyssal in nature, and something that once you had a chance to really look at it and got to look at the doorway that it had grown over, you realized that it may have been an entity that was allowing demons to pass through, creating a planar portal between the prime material plane and the abyss. One such entity most likely had passed through, and you started to notice these massive, hulking, heavy footprints, but burning the ground on which it walked as it continued away from where the battle that you had that you took place in. Making your way around the corner, Les, you found there was surprisingly a stone staircase in the middle of the Grandfather Tree. Something placed here by something, and you're not entirely sure what it was. But you began to make your way down the staircase, all five of you, slowly pushing down, flight after flight, 50 feet after 50 feet, until several hundred feet below the tree itself, you started to realize that you were no longer inside the Grandfather Tree. Something was taking you deeper down, and eventually a wave of nausea hit you before all of you closed your eyes and kind of gulped for breath, stood up, and realized that you were now standing in a stone hallway with no exit, no entrance. Just a hard wall behind you, but a massive motif imbued into the ground. An expansive golden tree with 7 silver stars around its apex. This tree believing potentially something to do with the 7 elven nations rallying around the tree, the Grandfather Tree. But seeing in the hallway ahead a series of doors, one on the left and one on the right, and then a Y split further on down the hallway. You decided to go up to one of the doors very cautiously, Allura touching the handle, and the door opened silently, easily, as if it were just constructed an hour ago. Moving inside, you found a series of papers on the table. You found that these papers were written in a language somewhat akin to Draconic, but definitely not identical to it. And none of you were really able to read that until you got a little bit of a voice in the back of your head as Ostilian came in and started to translate for you, providing a little bit of information that this language that was on these documents was the language of the Saruk, and the language itself known as Sarukar, an ancient primordial language of one of the progenitor races, one of the first races that first existed on Faerun. So, we pick up with all of you inside the door, looking at a series of papers on desks. You see rudimentary wooden desks and tables, piled high with the books, loose papers, inkwells and feathered quills are carefully placed across each desk, with large bookshelves nearly overflowing from assorted pieces of parchment and bound tomes.
Can I take a look around and, just kind of flip through some of these yeah, just kind of look for anything. Maybe I can read something.
Sure.
Because I see Les has got one that I don't know if he's kind of clicking or letting us know that he can read it, but yeah, I'll kind of look around, see if I can find something.
All right. Looking through, you take a couple of pieces of paper off the top stack, and you notice Les has grabbed a couple of those and is like hurriedly reading through as if something is almost driving his vision back and forth between the pages. But you go a couple deeper and eventually find a series of books that are all written in Elven.
Cool. Can I take a little breeze through those? Maybe call Aleith and anyone else that speaks Elven over and say, I think I know how to read these ones.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anybody who would like to go ahead and read through anything, you can all make investigation checks. Les, I've got one for you already prepared with Ostilian's assistance.
Okay.
I'll look through what Leaf's found and anything else that's sort of in Elvish or looks like it matches the motifs of the things that we've been seeing.
Any chance I can guide myself? I've already rolled. It's not great.
No, that's fine. Go for it.
All right, cool.
Guide yourself.
Guide myself.
Can I just kind of, whilst folks are looking at books, just kind of look around the room kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jordy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got an 8.
An 8.
Not great.
All right.
I got a nat 20, so 29
Hey.
total because we're in my favored terrain.
So,
Nice.
what is your favorite terrain?
Underdark and/or mountain
No, you are not in your favorite terrain.
and/or forest. We're inside a tree.
No, you're
How
not.
about like
Okay.
More.
secret?
Fair enough. We're not in my favorite terrain. Well, then it is 25 total.
25 total. Okay.
How about
And
backstory
Allura,
pocket dimension?
Still amazing.
I wasn't looking at books.
you weren't looking at books.
No.
Okay. So Leaf.
Come back to me when you're done your book stuff.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll do Hope's first. So Hope, looking around the room, you see that there are a ton of books, pages, ink wells, quills, desks, chairs. This is a studious library of some kind. Anything of any real interest inside this room would likely be inside the books, but there is another door just on the opposite side of the hallway about 10 feet away. You could take a look at that if you wanted to, or you could stay here with everybody else.
I might ask the group if anyone wants to come look at that door with me, because I'd rather not go alone just in case.
Allura is very excited to go with you through other doors.
Super
All right.
excited.
So Hope, you and Allura just kind of looking at all the books and just kind of going,
I'm like, over that.
Yeah.
Let's go explore.
Let's go explore. So you two start to push across to the other hallway, and very similarly, Allura, carefully checking for traps, you realize none of these doors are trapped. It is, again, very, very silently able to open on its hinges.
I would have used one expenditure of the in the room. I would have used one of the Wand of Secrets.
Okay. So using the Wand of Secrets, what's the range on it?
30 feet.
30 feet. You don't get anything that pings in terms of a trap or in terms of a hidden object or door of any kind. Alrighty. So I'll come back to you two. Leaf, let's go for you first. So on an 8.
Yeah, I'm looking for pictures at this point.
You basically, yeah, you're right. You're looking for pictures, and you find a picture. Skimming through pages, you recognize a single document with the same symbol you saw on the floor when you first arrived in the hallway. A depiction of the great golden tree with 7 stars around its peak. The document seems to be an agreement of sorts and is signed by 7 individuals. In Elvish, the document reads, "By the hands of the 7 realms, we pass through these ancient halls but once to secure the hidden. Let the roots of the Achaidh bind his strength and will for all time."
Okay, I'm just gonna...
Sorry?
Can you spell Achaidh?
Yeah, Arakhor.
What is
Rakh.
protecting things from evil?
O-R?
O-R, yeah. And the names, because you speak Elvish, you're able to understand the script. You
Okay.
recognize the names only one of them really stands out to you, but there are 7 names. This is something I'm not going to get you to write all this down. I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to...
Because the spelling on it is fun.
The spelling is wild.
Yeah. So it's Feornic Loril, Berdelcombe the Blue-Bearded, Ilmaida Brightsong,
Okay.
Darsha Cormith,
Okay.
Silme Moonbow, Taledra Revan, and the one that you do recognize signed at the bottom is Morgwace Night Meadow.
Okay.
And that would be Lady Morgwace, Lady of the Wood, and the current leader of the Erlan tribe. Or the Erlan realm, I should say, of elves.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll and I'll relay that to Achaidh and Les, who are still in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, just give me one sec here. I'm gonna
Yeah, all good.
quickly fix up.
Yeah, Leaf is probably more used to reading, we'll say graphic novels in Elven, so, all this heavy legal documents, really not,
not his forte.
His cup of tea. Kind of flipping through going, oh man, I thought there'd be more excitement in these.
All right, so for that one though, it is at least interesting that there is an agreement of some kind between not only 7 individuals, but recognizing the 7 realms, the 7 elvish realms, and seemingly a champion from each or a member from each. But Lady Morgwace being the leader of the Erlan people, you're not entirely sure, but there's an indication that this may have been the 7 leaders of the 7 realms. Alrighty, so for Kaylee, because she's not here, we're going to come back to her.
Yeah.
So Kevin, we'll do yours at this point. So as Leaf and Achaidh are starting to pour through a couple of the Elven notes, and Hope and Allura are starting to do a little bit of searching outside of this room, you're really hearing Osthilian's voice inside your head, and these pages are written in Sarukar, the ancient language of the Saruk, one of what the elves call the Ikatel Kesir, the creator races of Faerun. The Saruk were the progenitor race for what you know as the Scaled Ones, Yuan-Ti, Naga, lizard folk. Their ancestry dates back to the first significant civilizations. What year is it? Right now, what year is it?
First of all, do you read scrolls on tape or something like that? You're just saying information. I haven't talked to you in goddamn now who knows long. Where the hell have you been?
I have been in your mind.
Well, some help you've been. Have you not been around for the last few encounters we've had?
I have been, but something about this place is blurring the lines between my realm and yours. This connection is stronger here.
So you only pop up when it suits you? Where were you the whole year I was in Baldur's Gate?
I was attempting to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know if you know me swimming around my head all this time. I'm not what you call good at reading subtle things.
I know.
But look, are you just going... Is this just how it works? You just show up whenever you like, however it suits you, and if I need you, you're never around. I'm just trying to get this relationship figured out.
You haven't unlocked the ability to properly converse with me yet, Triton. It will come in time. This place is giving you a glimpse of what you can do, eventually.
So would I have to prove myself to you to talk to you, but you just get to invade my head and talk to me whenever you want?
It's not an invasion. It is simply a partnership of sorts.
Seems pretty fucking one-sided!
I granted you the ability to cast the ancient magics that lay dormant within your blood An agreement made with your ancestors that long predates your life, Triton. That is not one-sided. If anything, you are the one who is reaping all the benefits at the moment. You simply need to learn how to use them.
What fucking year is it? 1495.
DR.
DR.
Or you sound like a member of the Sopranos.
Dale Reckoning. 1495. Carry the 2. So he eventually comes back and 36,500 years ago, give or take.
That's been long.
That is about how long ago these races were first created, the progenitor races. And you find these words here as if they were written today. Where are you, Triton?
First off, my name is Les Paul, okay? Not Triton. Second, I thought we were in a tree. Apparently we may not be in a tree anymore.
What tree?
The grandfather tree. I don't know if you've heard of it since you're in my head all the time. If you haven't been looking out my peepers.
You overestimate my power. That is not something I can do. I simply have the ability to direct you as best I can.
Well, if you talk to me once in a while, maybe I'd learn more about you instead of just, disappearing for years on end and then showing up when you like something.
It's like the conversation I had with my dad the other week. Sorry.
Dragons and daddies?
Oh, I'm in.
Sorry.
This is not something to discuss now. It will happen, but these words, this place, something is different here.
So if I keep finding you interesting things, you'll stick around?
I am with you whether you find interesting things or not.
Again, feels pretty weird to me.
How is it weird?
Again, God damn it, I don't know if you've been noticing or not, but I've not been in the best fucking headspace lately. I've been trying to get home this whole goddamn time. You show up once in a while, freak me the fuck out. You were there back when we fought Strahd. You haven't been around all this time. You then just come in here, show up, when I've been tortured for the last few fights, not be able to do jack squat. And either you were sitting there the whole time, watching this happening, not doing anything, not helping me, or you weren't doing anything and you're not as fucking crazy, omniscient, and powerful as you claim to be. So which one is it?
I never claimed to be powerful and omniscient, simply that I am a part of you. You built me up to be that within yourself.
Well, if I'm so goddamn stupid, why are you taking up rent in my brain?
As I said, because an agreement was struck between your ancestors and myself.
So you aren't supposed to be here.
My knowledge was to lay dormant inside one of your lineage until an exceptional individual was found. That individual was you.
So you're stuck with me.
As I am stuck with you, you are stuck with me.
Okay. All I'm saying is, check in once in a while. Can we have like a monthly date? Or like, just something I can go off of to get to know you better? Anything?
Hashtag Daddy Dragon Date.
This place is allowing me to converse in a way that I normally am unable to do, unless you are in a unwillingly unconscious state. Meditation of sorts. The first indication, the first discussion we had when you were knocked unconscious during that fight. The second, when you were willed into a nearly dead sleep, recovering from your wounds. Those have not transpired since. Perhaps I can impart some semblance of how to maintain a connection with me. And you start to see images begin to flash into your mind of meditation, of things that less is not known for. Slowing the heartbeat, slowing yourself down entirely, taking minutes, hours out of a day, completely trying to remove yourself from within your own body and kind of become purely cerebral. Whereas you, throughout your entire life, have been very much a physical entity. You've always been a physical fighter, you've always been physically involved. Mentally focusing on something for that length of time with no interruptions is something you haven't really been great at. You've maybe attempted it in the past, but this is kind of giving you a more clear direction as to how you can do that.
So you're saying, if I need to talk to you, I can knock myself out and we'll talk?
Is your life threatened when you knock yourself out?
I mean, whose isn't really? You're there, you're all by yourself, no one's around.
Eventually you will wake up, and you are not in immortal danger.
What if I did it in a very dangerous place?
Then we may have a connection, and you may die while we have it. What do you need to do?
In my own hell the last year, it can't be any worse.
What you need to do is simply rest. Focus on the magics that are now swirling inside your head. Take a proper amount of time, and we may be able to maintain some semblance of a connection outside of a place such as this. Now, on the topic of magic, you can see that, like, as you've kind of been looking around the room and having this conversation, your eyes every once in a while have just kind of like flitted back to the paper, as if he's kind of like directing your eyes a little bit.
Not okay, dude, not okay.
This speaks of studies of the primitive forms of magic used by various races. They're stamped with an insignia I have never seen, but the script under it forms a word, a group of some kind. Baetith. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, this group. See if you can find this insignia on any of the other books. I will do my best to translate. And you kind of flash down, and you end up seeing the insignia, which I'll send you guys right now.
I've got a question just whenever this wraps.
Yeah, just give me like 10 seconds here.
Also, sorry for cutting in. I had to lob a goof in there. I hope I didn't disrupt anything too much.
It's all good. So that's the Baetith insignia.
I spelled that completely differently, but it's good to know.
Whoa. Cool.
Baetith.
Yeah, I appreciated hearing the goof from the other room whilst I peed, so thank you for that.
Should have bring the levity in.
So Les, you just kind of looking at that sigil and just generally being annoyed, but kind of at the same time grudgingly like, yeah, okay, like, I guess we can talk while we're here and I'll work on it kind of thing. But the indication seems to be that if you can look around and if you can find another insignia like that, there might be some other information that you could glean from within the room.
Were they all hearing me talk just by myself, or was this all in my head?
That was actually going to be my question.
Yeah, that was actually, I was going to ask that same thing. Were you talking out loud, or were you just, because all of the voice you were hearing was inside your head, so you could be thinking the words or you could be talking them out loud?
I mean, my instinct is to be shouting. If I'm just hearing a voice and I don't know where it's coming from, I'm going, what the fuck? Like, I don't know how to think inside my own head.
Yeah, that would make sense. I kind of assumed that would probably be the case, but yeah. So
Wisdom 0.
there you go. So yeah, so
Leaf and Aleith are like,
Okay, buddy?
getting anything?
Okay, apparently we're looking for this sigil. These 3 circles all in a row. Find something with this on it.
all right.
Did whoever you're talking to tell you that, Les?
Yeah, the dragon, Ostilian.
Well, finally.
Apparently he's around suddenly.
Well, if we can make use of it. Yeah, we were kind of looking at these books and we can see if we can see that symbol anywhere.
Yeah, Aleith, you seem like you really looked well at these. Did you see anything?
Yeah, I looked so hard that I spaced out for a minute. It was almost like I wasn't in the room.
That was crazy. It was
So
transcendental.
focused. Hyper fucking focused.
Les, it seemed like you were pretty angry at your dragon friend, whoever was talking to you. Maybe you should take a bit of a softer approach.
You would be mad if some weird thing inside your head would just come and go whenever it pleased.
Leaf does the art, the fucking clenched fist of this is the entirety of the plot right now. Oh, that's understandable. I get it. Can't imagine what that would feel like, but understandable. I'm just, fair. What do I know? But yeah, no, if you want to, meditate at all, that's definitely a good, good approach to things. Maybe
That's what he said. He hasn't shown his stupid voice in over a year. Apparently it has something to do with calming a mind or something. I don't know.
Has your mind not been calm in over a year?
Got a lot to think about.
That's fair.
Trying to get back home, not knowing where you guys are, having to work on a boat. It's a lot to handle.
That's fair. That's completely understandable. Gonna kind of look to Aleith for I'm running out of advice here. Do you have anything? I'll say that in Elven, actually. Just
Okay. Yeah.
lean into the.
I think Aleith would turn to Les and be like, be as it may that he's telling you how to connect with him. Sure, he's telling you to meditate. Find a way to do it that works for you. That doesn't necessarily mean his. You don't have to go sit in a fucking stream and, relax and say your ohms like a monk. Find what gives you peace and chase that. That's my advice.
But if you do want to do that, I know a really cool stream, so we can figure it out.
Where's the stream? Where is the stream you speak of?
It's at my granny's house, actually.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact. It's in the...
Well, if we make it out of this fake weird tree space, maybe we could go do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to check in on her, but, no, we can totally do that sometime. That sounds like fun. Anyways, this probably isn't the time or place for that. Aleith, did you, what did you read?
Yeah, so just catching up a little bit, the names of these seven figures that joined this, scroll sort of mission statement,
Yeah.
I guess. Mark White, that's the one we've read about, who passed through these lands a couple of 100 years ago, or 400, 500 years ago. Do I recognize?
I was actually only 100 years ago.
100. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting her mixed up with the other ones. But yeah, do I recognize? If not, the name, maybe the background of some of the other names, because some of them look like they're High Elven, some of them just Achaidh, not Elise. Some of them look like they're High Elven, some of them look Wood Elvish, and I'm like, maybe there's a Drow name in there, but I'm not sure.
You don't recognize any of the names immediately as Drow. Go ahead and make a history check for me.
Okay.
I want to meet the blue bearded one. They sound so cool.
Yeah, also, I'm sorry, when I put my finger up, it was because I wanted to do a very stupid little bit where you were like, what stream? And I was like, oh, great, it's time to be like, twitch.tv/Dicecream Sandwich stream. And I was just like, why isn't this happening? Why is no one connecting the dots?
I honestly thought that's where it was going too, but it was an actual
so
part of story.
Y'all are so smart.
Sailing right over. Thank you, Emma.
Like that at all. But I did come up with nihilistic from last session, and I was real proud of that one.
That was a good one. So, Kaylee, what was your roll?
I'm 2 for 2 on rolls and nat 20s this session.
Okay, so what's the total history?
21.
21, okay. It's enough to get a couple of the names. Not all of them, which for you is very strange. Like, you're studious enough and have had enough of experience that you would imagine you should know most of these names. The ones that you recognize are Feornic Lorel, who is the current leader of the Border Forest Elves.
The Wood Elves?
The Wood Elves, yeah. That the Border Forest, especially, I'll give you just a little bit of an extra tidbit. They began to lose their influence around 200 years ago, but they're mostly now known as the Eldreth Veluthra, a group of elves dedicated to the removal of all humans from Faerun.
We've heard about these guys before.
You might have, not through the campaign.
Oh, I thought we had when we talked to. It was when we were talking to the shopkeeper in Waterdeep about going to find that crazy plant that they're going to pay less to bring back.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes, that was correct. You did hear about these guys from them. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's one. You would recognize that name as the leader of the Border Forest Elves, roughly 100 years ago.
But not currently?
Currently, you're not sure because they're so removed from society.
To learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other two names are ones that you would know less of actual people, but more of just sheer lack of knowledge. The names Ilmeda Brightsong and Silme Moonbow, those typically are Wood Elven style names, but not recognizing and not registering with you as leaders. You would imagine that they might be leaders of Nikarimath and Rushian Jean, which are two kind of hidden elven realms that no one really knows where they are, but they're allegedly located much further south, like completely out of the Sword Coast entirely, in an area known as the Chondal Wood.
Okay.
But the other ones, you are not sure.
Okay, so maybe I'll just say to them, like, I kind of recognize this one. Like, I think this person is or was the leader of, and Kaylee fully forgets the name, but at least says it. Whatever you said about that group.
Sorry, I apologize. There would actually be one more.
Okay.
I forgot. Berdalcombe the Bluebearded is actually is actually one that is very illustrious. In comparison to the rest of them kind of being more remote, more chosen segregation, Berdalcombe is the leader of the realm of sea elves that claimed the area around the Shipgrave Isles off the coast of southern Faerun, and was renowned for their large army of warriors equipped with armor made of giant seashells, and who ride a giant squid and octopus that could lift boulders out of the water to hurl at and sink ships.
So we're gonna go hang out with them for sure.
Yeah.
And you kind of remembering that, look over at Les. Do you mention that to Les at all?
I think I'll just share everything that I remember and just sort of say, like, these other two were, like, kind of weird. Like, they might be from this other group. But these guys, Les, did you ever hear about them even, while you were sailing around for a year?
I don't know, did I?
You did, 100%. They were known as less raiders because they had everything they needed, but there were specific waters that were well known to be avoided by any merchant ships, lest they be attacked by, quote unquote, the sea.
Cool.
That's so weird. I thought I heard about these guys. I thought they literally meant the sea, but they must have been referring to these people. I thought it was just like a metaphor, but they were being literal.
Well, like lots of elven groups kind of identify quite innately with the environment they choose to make their home in. Wood elves are very connected to the forest, and I don't really have a lot of background with sea elves, but I can imagine they would sort of consider themselves quite elemental. So you're not wrong. This is
They're very full of themselves. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So from what we know, leaders, mighty warriors, and elves who came together from across quite varied cultural groups. Like elves are not a monolith. We're very different from group to group, and it seems that they united for a common cause.
Hmm.
So it must have been quite dire or quite important. I can't remember, Jordy, if we actually said this, but did my original 25, now 20 investigation into the books that Leaf was looking at get anything?
Yeah, so it would have actually gotten you two things. So first off, because Les had been kind of doing this while you guys were looking, and he mentioned that you should be looking for these for this specific symbol, it found you two things. The first one on your own, kind of underneath where Leaf grabbed a series of documents and was reading through papers one at a time. You were more interested in the full books. You ended up finding a fairly thin tome, a light journal, actually. And it discussed the formation of something referred to as the Covenant of the Shield.
We've heard that before.
This one you haven't. Absolutely not.
No?
Nope.
Didn't the shaman say something about the Covenant of the Shield?
It wasn't the Covenant. The name, the Covenant of the Shield, wasn't spoken specifically, but it was kind of, it's along the same lines, but the name specifically is something that now you have a specific name for.
Covenant of the Shield. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a fairly short one, and you kind of skim through and try to find the time frame that you should be looking for. And the journal reads, in the year 1393 Dale Reckoning, so 1393 DR, a council was called between the 7 elven kingdoms. Following the destruction of the disciples of the Hidden Lord during the Harp Star Wars in 1218, the entity known as Gargoth fled, and was thought to have returned to the 9 Hells. But word spread of a devilish creature stalking the southern forests of Faerun until the first year of the Spell Plague, 1385, just over 100 years ago. The realms of Nikarimath and Rushian Jan saw the natural creatures and woods within their homelands begin to warp. Over the following years, the source was traced to a silver shield bearing the twisted face of a demon. The shield was forged from pure mithril, inlaid with dozens of tiny rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds arranged to form the snarling visage. The council agreed as to what to do with the shield, but eventually came to an agreement that the shield should be locked away, and must be sealed in a place of immense power to ensure that its influence could not escape. Lady Morgways, coming from the land of Erlan, suggested that the grandfather tree, as the Arakor has stood for over 13,000 years. And the 7 leaders agreed to escort the shield there together, knowing that their combined will would ensure the journey's completion. During the ride from the Chandlewood to the High Forest, the creature's power became clear to the 7 leaders, nearly overtaking each of them as they rested. But upon finally placing it to rest within the Hall of Mists, the Covenant of the Shield agreed to leave hidden markers for future Covenant members. Should there ever be a threat to the creature being found and released by a new generation of disciples, these markers would allow it to be found and moved by their people before that threat could manifest into something more devastating.
Okie dokies. Elise will share that with the class.
This seems rather...
It's almost like they formed like a fellowship of the shield in order to take it safely to where it needed to be placed in order to stop doing harm.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Before I put my finger on it.
Squad of the Shield or something.
Yeah. The Shield Squad.
Yeah.
If we ever wanted to rebrand, that's great. That's a great idea. The Shield
Squad, engage.
Yeah.
You
But in all seriousness, it does sound like.
said. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. It is. What's his fucking face that we're dealing with? As if we kind of have any doubt left. Leaf Les, have either of you sorry, Allura and Hope are not in this room anymore, right?
Correct. They've made their way across to the other side. We're just waiting
I
to
make a
jump to them.
mental note to ask Allura as well because she has a lot of good historical background, and to ask Hope because they also have like, they're a tiefling. But basically, like, has anyone ever heard of like a artifact being able to hold such a powerful and evil creature before? Like, I mean, obviously it sounds like he was like out and about, but in some way like toyed and his essence bound to this shield in that they were able to take him with it.
It's not exactly uncommon knowledge that powerful entities are sometimes locked away inside artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Okay.
person we're looking for is locked away in a shield?
Something like that. And then do we do a smash cut of like Hope and Allura like opening a door, like, oh, here's a shield.
So we are going to smash cut to them because as you guys are looking through, Les, now you showing them the insignia and you guys spending a couple of minutes looking around trying to find anything that matches that. We are going to smash cut over to Allura and Hope. So
I did imagine as you were talking about the rubies and diamonds, like Allura going like
Stones.
So, Allura, for you, the left door swings open just as easily, silent on its hinges. Inside the room is warmly lit, a series of rudimentary tables and chairs, kind of similar to the other room. But in comparison to the books and papers and tomes, ink and quills, you instead see assorted basic and complex-looking tools. Laid out on the table, some hammered into the walls, closed chests, wooden crates of varying sizes pressed against the walls.
What do you think? Should I try this again? Holding the wand of secrets.
It would still be active, I think, because it's...
Oh.
Well, because, yeah, it's anything within 30 feet. The room is within 30 feet.
Like, I can walk with it? It doesn't have like a...
Give me a sec.
It has a range on it, like you walk with it and the range would just move with you, right?
I just want to see...
If...
You can use
So
it.
while holding it, you use an action to expend one of its charges.
Oh.
If a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and guides you to the nearest one. So where I'm standing, if there's one within 30 feet of where I was standing when I
Did it.
actioned it, it'll lead me to that one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Follow you.
continue and
Yeah.
follow me. I don't think rules as written.
Yeah, okay,
Or-
so I'm just trying to think. So, yeah, from where you were in the other room, you would have to expend another charge in this room to look again, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope, what do you think I should... Why don't I just look around? I'm just going to investigate to see if I can find any, like,
Yeah.
hidden apartments or...
Check for traps in the room before we step in. I know you checked for traps
Yeah,
around
that's
the door.
probably a good idea.
Yeah, go and make an investigation check.
I'm going to use my
New
new
dice.
dice.
Very
Ooh.
nice.
Custom made dice from Dice by Die, a Vancouver dice maker.
It's so pretty.
Hmm.
That's what happens when you don't use the tower.
Didn't use tower. I'm sorry. It was a bad roll, you guys.
Should have gone with the
11.
Jordan Tower.
11. You've been a little bit on edge, like the first door opening that easily, them kind of looking around at a whole bunch of papers and nothing happening. Second door opening really easily, nothing happening. You're kind of settling in a little bit. You're like, okay, maybe this place just isn't trapped. You're good.
All right.
Nothing bad ever.
Let's just go right ahead. I'm gonna. So you said there were crates, Jordy?
Crates and chests. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go straight for one of these crates. Have
Okay.
a little look.
So inside the crates, you start to like lift open the lid and everything opens quite easily. And inside the first one, you see that there is a massive amount of assorted crafting materials. You've got chalk, parchment, spectacles, empty vials, iron pellets, assorted liquids of different viscosities. Kind of pouring through another crate, opening up the lid, you see a lot of different vials of different types of liquids. Some you can see are kind of green acid, some kind of these black, very viscous, heavy, thick liquids that would be very difficult to pour. Used a lot of time. You've been around long enough, and all of you have kind of had a better idea over the last year. A lot of times these things are used in the crafting of items. potions of some kind. They're used as materials to craft magical items. So it is a very interesting trove. You'd imagine it's probably worth a good amount of money, but it is a very large amount of weight because all these materials are in different forms and you're not sure exactly what is worth the most.
All right. I'm picturing that, these are some big crates. So, I'm picturing, I'm hanging over the side of it, legs kicking. And I'm like, hey, Allura, there's some cool shit in here. Does Alif still have the bag of holding? Do you think there's some space? She
definitely has the bag of holding. I don't know how much room is in there. I don't even remember what's in there. There was a rug at one point.
Oh.
Some rotting fruit. Yeah, we can. Well, once they're done and reading all the books, we can see what we can pack in there. I'll be squatting down at the chest.
Okay.
May I ask, Jordy? Sorry, before Allura opens the chest. You said that they looked more into the crafting side of kind of magical items, but did any of the liquids look like any of the potions I've used before? Anything look like a healing potion or anything like that?
Best you can tell within the crates, no. These look like the components to make some of those things, but not the completed works themselves. Yeah. Allura, you kind of bending over one of the chests, and there are several. You're looking probably about 7 to 10 chests at assorted different places around the room. And kind of instinctively, a little apprehensive, but peeking open the lid, you see inside the chest are very carefully organized bags.
Just bags.
Bags. Little leather satchels of some of differing sizes.
I'm gonna open all of the, because none of them are locked, right?
Correct.
Open all of the chests.
Again, every single chest is laid out in a very similar manner. Some of the bags a little bit more full, some of them a little bit less full, but all of them are sealed with just a leather string around.
I'm going to take. Hope, do you want me to see if anything is magical in here? I can do that pretty easy.
Yes, please. Hopefully these components don't ping. I'm sorry, I found some food in my bag that I just was chewing on.
Yeah, why don't I'll take 10 minutes to see if anything in the room pings once I've got them all open.
Okay. So casting Detect Magic as a ritual?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So over the course of 10 minutes with them reading in the other room, you're undisturbed. Hope you're kind of still looking around a little bit and just finding more of the same stuff, just essentially a lot of it in all the different crates. And after the 10 minutes passes, your eyes kind of flash a little bit. You look at Hope and you recognize the magical items beginning to ping on their body. Looking back at the chests and at the satchels and the bags inside, nothing seems to be pinging.
Okay. At that point, I would have expended enough. No. I'll hold it.
Okay.
Hope. Yeah, once they're out, do you want to go and check on the book rooms and see if they found anything really?
Yeah, although I'm a little. I don't ever like leaving someone alone. So
no, us together.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go arm in arm again back to the other folks.
So you're not looking in the bags?
Well, we could look in the bag. But no.
Open one of the bags.
Okay. Inside the first one, you see that there is dust of some kind. And kind of like getting a little bit of a better look, you're seeing a very familiar shimmer. You would recognize this as gem dust, specifically ruby gem dust.
Oh,
Cody, how much does that go for on the black market?
It's based on weight. Allura, you kind of lifting out the bag.
Sorry,
Obviously, with your background, it's no check required. You would imagine that it would probably be worth about 100 gold pieces for what's currently in the satchel.
Yeah. Looking through, see what gem does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I start also with this, I don't know, Christmas unboxing celebration and
Does this ping off your ASMR thing you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, 100%.
So, Allura, for the chest that you opened with the first satchel, kind of with really nicely having that that shimmer of the gem dust, you instinctively start to open up the other 5 satchels that are in there, and you find a matching one, another satchel of 100 gold pieces worth of ruby dust, 100 gold pieces worth of diamond, another of diamond, emerald, and another of emerald. So 200 gold pieces worth of dust for each emerald, ruby, and diamond.
I think we just ended up in some other party's bag of holding.
Hope for you, as Allura is going through and finding all this dust and definitely appreciating it. You kind of go around and you're starting to just like kind of kick crates a little bit, and you're starting to hear a little bit of clanking inside, and then eventually you hear a ching ching of coin impacting against each other, what you think is coin, but it sounds a little bit different. And lifting open the lid, you find again 6 very similar little satchels, but inside the satchels, in comparison to what you would expect to find coin, you actually find just roughly cut nuggets and shavings of silver, gold, and platinum. So the silver would be about 16 pounds worth of silver, which would be worth about 80 gold pieces. The gold is 19 pounds of gold, so that's worth roughly 950 gold pieces.
Woo!
And the platinum is 22 pounds of raw cut platinum, roughly worth about 12,000 gold pieces.
Wow!
Whoa, money, money, money!
The new Safdie Brothers film.
These are some uncut gems.
Jim does.
So, yeah, I think that we can definitely see what'll fit into the bag of holding. Like,
Yeah, I think these are some platinum shavings. I know, Allura, you have much better scope for these kind of things compared to me. Yeah. That look like platinum?
yeah, that's platinum.
Sweet. All right, yeah, let's go tell the folks what we
Take a
found.
bite of it.
So that is spread out over a series of the different chests in a couple of different bags, because each of the bags weighs, roughly about 5 to 6 pounds.
Leave it here, Hope, and then we can see what we can take with us, because we're not going to be able to take it all. But let's go check back in with the group and then see.
And Allura, right as you're about to leave, you notice that there is one other chest that was just kind of stuck behind a couple of other things, and instinctively it's the only one you haven't opened. You're kind of curious, and you lift open the lid, and in this one you've got the same thing, a series of different satchels, but inside the satchels, rather than dust and rather than nuggets, you find uncut actual gems. Rubies, diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, topazes, pearls. Judging from size and quality and carats, you would imagine some in the 100 gold piece range, probably about 30 of them in total. Then a series of larger ones, about 9 larger gems that are probably worth about 300 gold pieces each. So that'd be another 2,700. And then specifically 2 very large, very finely cut, high clarity, 1 diamond and 1 pearl, both worth about 1,000 gold pieces.
Whoa! I'm gonna.
I think maybe we would Allura in like showing them off. Like,
I'm literally just staring at them.
Don't touch anything but the lamb.
Literally, I was
Crazy
just
risk.
focusing on the group. Like before. Oh my god, that's so funny. We're such on this.
The whole time I was just like imagining Aladdin. Just like,
because this,
Is it a little one, big one? What is the size of this chest? This particular chest?
So this particular one is a little bit on the small side, just because gems themselves are inherently small, even though they are worth a fair amount. Definitely smaller than any of the ones that are holding any of the nuggets and the shavings of the silver, gold, and platinum.
Okay. I'm gonna just hold this one and be like, let's go check in with the group and see. But I'm like not putting this chest down.
Maybe.
I was gonna ask if you could send us that.
Yep, just did.
The goods.
That big ass diamond could potentially be super helpful for Leaf or I if something terrible happened to us.
Pluck out the big ass diamond and I will hand it to Hope.
Thank you. And I will put it somewhere safe on my body that I'm not disclosing right now.
All right. So you have 1,000 gold piece.
Keep it safe.
You have a single large diamond worth roughly 1,000 gold pieces.
And Allura has a really fun box of things.
Yeah. All right, so as you guys had spent a bit of time in Allura, especially with you casting the spell and finally looking through all the different boxes, we're going to cut back over to you guys. So specifically on a DC 25 investigation, which you exactly passed.
Nice.
So while you had been looking through that and Les had been looking through the Sardaukar book with the insignia for the Beatith, you started to look through a series of different tomes, and eventually you found one book that was just a little bit out of place. A massive tome buried on the bottom shelf of the bookcase with no script on the spine and no script on the cover. In comparison to the organized writings you're used to seeing, the nature of this tome is haphazard. No formal writing style, notes scribbled, written over each other on every page. Some pages are even crossed out entirely. No regard for the words underneath, but 2 sets of words that Les, through the assistance of Astilian, quickly begin to stand out the more that you read. They're just kind of repeated over and over. The words, the first set translates to golden skins of the world serpent. And the second one is... which seems to be like a shortened version of it and translates slightly differently, but eventually forms the words Nether Scrolls. Looking through less with the assistance of Astilian, you also notice that numbers start to dot certain pages, but again in a random order. You eventually find the numbers run 1 through 50, like 4, 17, 12, 39, 32, just completely random as to the order that they're written in. But each page talks of decades, centuries, millennia spent on the creation of what is written on the pages. And the tome mentions the creation of 50 scrolls as a permanent record of the basis of all fundamental magic theory, created by the Saruk in an effort to gather all the magical knowledge from their borders and consolidate their arcane power into a single set of scrolls. This effort spawned its own secret society, the Beatith. The scrolls were not forged from parchment, as it was too weak to survive the ages. Instead, the knowledge was transcribed onto precious metals, made flexible through arcane means. Enchantments to protect against magical and physical destruction would ensure their survival throughout the ages. Each time the page was read, there was a specific entry that a certain arcanist had found a way that reading to the end of a page and starting over would cause new words to appear, thereby allowing a single scroll to contain enough knowledge for a month of consistent study, taking up less space and only on a single piece of parchment, an entire tome to span a month. And as you go through with Astilian's assistance, the 50 scrolls were broken down into 5 chapters. The translations are a little bit rough, but essentially comes down to the Arcanus Funder, the foundations of magic, the Magicus Crear, the spells of creation, the Major Creare, the spells of major creation, the Planus Mechanis, studies of the planes, and the Ars Factum, of the creation of artifacts. The tome closes, stating that 2 sets of the scrolls were created by the Saruk, one of which was to be kept within the Hall of Mists, so it could be utilized in the formation of a series of gates to realms beyond this world, as well as a Ceres gate to ensure safe passage to and from the hall within the land of Toru. So you know Toril is the world that you exist on. So effectively, the area that you are, based on all the other documentation, where you currently are being known as the Hall of Mists, there seems to be some kind of a gate that allows travel out of here, somewhere else within this world, but you don't know where.
Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Reading this. Good lord, the Bay Tit found a way to get the hell out of here.
So I'm gonna.
Did you find anything from the Bay Tit?
Sorry, what?
The Bay Tit. That's what we're finding, right? The Bay Tit?
Yeah.
The Bay Tit. Did you find anything?
Yeah. I'm kind of like, Leith, you want to help him out at all, or trying to like hold it together, like, you know.
That's what it's called, right? Bay Tit. Dragon, it's Bay Tit, right? Are you still in there?
This fucking dragon. Just sitting there like, oh.
I imagine the dragon like jimming the camera.
It's just a long, drawn-out sigh of pronunciation.
Oh, Bay Tit. Got it.
Ba eateth.
Ba eateth.
There you are.
You alright? You were just talking to yourself there for a bit.
Whippy
Good?
It's a baited. It's a baited. So it's a lot of information to come in, and like this is something that none of you have ever heard of. Like this is 36,000 years old, and they were talking about spending millennia creating two sets of scrolls that define the fundamentals of magic. Period. Like, what the shit is this?
All this stuff, and I can't find a fucking graphic novel in here. This is brutal.
So we're all looking at our individual books, but we haven't necessarily told each other yet, like, what we found? Or
I'll say Leaf is looking at a Leaf because she's found way more interesting stuff than he has, so he's, like, trying to be like, cool. Interesting.
Leaf's just holding up a single piece of paper with a picture on it and, like, 7 names. He's like, oh, this is a good one. And then Leaf's just, like, reading through a book really rapidly.
What have you found?
But less.
Dillian is like explaining things to me, but like, dumb it down, god damn it. You're like, it is strong, god damn it. Having an argument side around it.
So the only thing here is that
travel to like different worlds part.
Sorry?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I said just once that section of like being able to travel to different worlds part comes up, that's the only thing I'm obsessed about.
Yeah. So you're kind of, because you're the only person who can read this. So you're effectively like looking at the pages, not actually reading the words, but having Osthilian tell you what they say. So you're just rabbiting everything until that one mention of the 4th chapter comes up, where all of a sudden you just go silent.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna kind of look out, say, Hope, Allura, y'all find anything in there?
No.
Yes. Sorry, I was chewing on that food from my bag again.
Oh, that was good stuff. I had mine on the way down.
It was really good. Yeah, Allura, show part of what we just found.
So whole bunch of gems.
Are those are legit? We just...
Yeah.
There's no trap or anything? No...
Sure we're allowed to take that?
No hidden consequence?
It appears not. Allura checked it all, and like I trust Allura with everything when it comes to traps, so I believe
that's fair.
Fine.
Yeah, there was. It seemed very. I'm not sure what it. I don't know. I think there's probably information of why that was all there in here.
What else was there?
Was there any like
There's-
signs of it was like a sacrifice or a gift to something,
No,
an
it was
altar
just
of
a
some
really
kind?
plain room, right, Jordy?
Was
Sorry?
there a shield?
Sorry.
No shield.
What did you say, Laura? It was what?
Really plain room, right?
Yeah, it was a very plain room, but there were a lot of instruments. Sorry, a lot of like pieces. Oh my god, my words are totally failing me. Sorry.
You said tools.
Tools. That's the word I'm looking for. Literally the easiest word. Tools. There were a lot of tools and a lot of these crafting materials. And you also know, having spent the amount of time you have, gems, gem dust, silver, gold, platinum, they are all crafting materials. These in essence are essentially just materials waiting to be crafted into something, but they also have a substantial value on their own.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of gem dust. There's a lot of coinage. Sorry, not coinage. There's a lot of metal nuggets and such. There's all of these gems. And then it sounds like Hope found a lot of magic item crafting
Yeah.
supplies.
So
They were using this room to store all of their supplies to make magical items. There was a lot of things that looked like they could be used in potion making as well. I think it's a potentially super valuable room, but it also I don't know how truthful this is, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Looked like it hadn't been touched in a long time.
Yeah, doesn't seem like anything here's been touched in a minute. And actually, what they're describing about all the kind of like raw material and everything, and how stuff was getting, like these scrolls were getting inscribed onto metals and stuff, does that maybe line up in any way? Like maybe this was a
100%. These two rooms were probably used in conjunction, one of them being the research room and the notation of experimentation on creating things like the Nether Scrolls, and then the other one was where it actually transpired, where everything actually was created. Les?
Can I go into their room, the gold crafting room, by myself for a second?
Sure. Do you want to be holding the tome, or are you kind of letting them look over it?
Yeah, I can let them look over it if they can read it.
They can, but there are enough pictures that they kind of get the gist of it with your explanation.
Yeah, Jordy, what is it not in Draconic or?
No, it's not. It's in a predating Draconic language, the Sardaukar, which is closer to like lizard folk.
Oh,
So Les, you went in?
Yeah, I'll take the tome and like, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go see something. And I walk into that room.
I'm gonna turn to Hope, so I guess really saw a picture you liked in there.
Is this thing on? Hello?
Yes,
Are you on here?
I'm here.
All right, Mr. Ostilian. Is there anything in here that interests you? Any magical dragon pings or whatever it is you do?
And you're just kind of like looking around everything.
Yeah, just looking around. I want to go and like look closer at like the walls and the bookshelf and everything else that they had kind of looked at, but kind of take a second look and see if he might be able to ascertain anything that maybe they missed.
Yeah. He takes a look, and you're kind of like glancing over everything. You're just kind of, no, shiny, but no.
At least you still have that dragon trait. I love shiny things, eh?
Everyone appreciates treasure. It's just treasure of different kinds with different people. Now, no, nothing here specifically pings the way that I am interested.
You think these things are gonna, taking these items, these treasures, is gonna come back to bite us in our butts at all?
A race of creatures 36,000 years old probably isn't going to come back and bite you in the ass.
How old are you?
I predate Dale Reckoning. So 3,000, 4,000, somewhere in there.
Les, you can't just ask someone that.
Right. Come back and say, it's all good. Those things are fine to take.
Alrighty. Jump down to Achaidh.
Cool.
I was just going to ask if, or maybe kind of mention to the, Hope and Allura who just joined us, and just tell them a little bit about what I read and the shield and all of that, and sort of say, like, do you think it's possible that, like, well, I mean, I guess they wouldn't be releasing him from the shield, but maybe if they were going to transfer essence into a different magical artifact, that might be where it was crafted.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Yeah, if it were made from silver, we did find there was the least amount of silver compared to like platinum and gold, so that could make sense.
I think Fuckface was in a mithril shield before, and that has specific kind of like magical properties, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just being really light, but it is like elven make. So
The other thought I had was, maybe we do take some of this, but maybe we give this back to the grandfather tree to restore the Arakor's strength and ability to keep Gargoth down. Like these items seem to be like a magical, help the Arakor continue to keep him
right, provide strength in some way. Well, just made me kind of wonder. It seems like maybe there's a connection between the materials that are required to pass into the realm of the Arakor, and then the materials you found there. Like, did you see what we gave them? Like, I think it was like a bunch of little pearls and stuff, right? Did you recognize any of the gems that were there?
Oh yeah, there were pearls. I think it was more that it needed to be like kind of natural, like materials, like the gem just needed to be worth a certain amount to show that, if I remember correctly, Jordy.
Right. I believe this is just asking like if the gems that we gave to enter weren't like magically in that area or something. Yeah, Jordy's shaking his head.
No,
it's fine.
what I'm thinking is that if we offer some of this back to the tree, that the tree will then be able to use that in the magic that it's performing to keep Gargoth contained. We will let it.
I guess something for us to think about is, what's our goal here with Fuckface? Like, are we actually? It seems like what the was the Conclave of Seven, or the Conclave of
Covenant.
Covenant of the Shield.
Covenant of the Shield.
The Covenant of the Shield intended was for, I don't know, them or those who are allied with them to be able to move the shield when Fuckface's followers got wise and figured out where he was and started working to free him. So is that our move? Do we try and fucking take this shield and find somewhere else for it? Like,
damn volcano.
Or do we
if a legendary group of 7 elves couldn't destroy the shield and Fuckface with it, are we going to have much luck doing the same?
Or do we, alternatively, try to find the Covenant of the Shield, the active members now, and tell them that, this guy's followers are getting close and actively working on freeing him? And we know where he is.
Can you, sorry, I forget about how your spell works, but can you try to cast Sending on someone you don't know, or do you have to know them?
Trying to think. I do it with disadvantage, right? Because I cast something on something that Achaidh described to me, right?
You scryed on something.
You scryed on something. Yeah, Sending. No. I think you have to.
I need to know them.
I think it's either that you have to know them, or you have to the person who's describing them to you has to do a really good job of it.
Okay.
I'm just checking really quick. Short message, 25 words or less, to a creature with which you are familiar. So it's kind of like a bit of a gray area. Like if someone else is really familiar with them and they can give a very accurate description, you've got a chance. I would kind of let you make a spellcasting ability check for it. With Morgways specifically, you guys have no idea what she even looks like. You don't even know if she's alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking that any of the other names either, but you're right. We don't have like a visual, so
You don't have any intimate knowledge of them in any sense.
Jordy, I don't want to get ahead of yourself, but I do know that Bairdlecombe has a blue beard, so
Sure.
that's like half the.
If you can give me Bairdlecombe's voice on the first try, sure.
Oh, Bairdlecombe.
You went the wrong direction. So.
Should have gone up.
So, Hope, we'll start with you.
I'm just wondering, there were still parts that we hadn't explored. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's a long hallway, about 80 feet long. You're 40 feet in, and then the 2 doors on either side. And as you continue, it splits off into a Y in 2 directions.
I personally feel like this is part of our journey, and this is where we're supposed to be. So I kind of feel like you said that. I think Elif said that they had put markers, or was it Les who'd said that? I think we should follow these markers and try and find the shield. I think this is what we're supposed to be doing. It feels right. I think we are Shield Squad 2.0 or Electric Boogaloo, whatever you want to say. Like, I think this is our. I think this is what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Well, if you want to look around, Hope, I'll join you. If you want to.
Yeah, I want to get to the root of the situation.
Hey, slam dunk.
I'm with you as well.
Yeah, I'll join as well. I think we've kind of gotten everything we can from in here.
So, Les, you had your finger up?
First, I'm going to think something really hard to see if this thing in my head can hear me. Hey!
And you just kind of get the response of, you don't have to shout.
Okay, so you can't hear me like this. And I'm just like, again, thinking this in my head. Yeah. No one's hearing this. That part about traveling from other planes. Are there any books in here that can give me some sort of clue as to how to get back home?
Books? No. You would need to get your hands on the chapter of the Nether Scrolls that they mentioned. It seemed to indicate that one of the set of scrolls was here 30,000 years ago. Maybe it never left.
You're very sarcastic for a dragon, you know that?
Even we're allowed a bit of fun every once in a while.
That I can agree with. All right, and then I just keep walking.
All right, Allura?
We were talking about where there was a thing where I went,
yeah.
And right, okay. We were trying to figure out if we knew what the 7 elves looked like, and we've seen a relief of them, so we have their images.
You've seen a relief of their backs with the 7 shields on horseback.
Learn how to take a photo.
Yeah, that's the closest thing that you saw. It was the 7 riders riding away towards the High Forest.
That's fine. That's a Polaroid.
Yeah.
He didn't know what they
look them up
now,
on, like,
that said, there was the discussion as well, and Achaidh, you had seen that the markers were going to be left. You've obviously found at least one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, within the Star Mounds.
Yes, okay.
Right, and that provided you the scroll, which gave you the information to go to the Grandfather Tree. So the 2 markers, the first being the Sigil of Erlan, the underground passage, and then eventually the scroll inside the locked chest. So that's 2. And then the Grandfather Tree itself now descending into this area that you surmise is referred to as the Hall of Mists.
Cool name.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, anything else anybody wanted to do inside this, or did you want to take any of the crafting materials from the other room?
Yes, please. Elif, Could you remind us how much space we have, or what we can take? Because I feel like these are some potentially very good items.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much in the bag of holding. Right now we just have a box with empty vials and a mana potion, and the iron and rune chains, as far as I know. So plus a little bit of loot that we're sharing. So we have a lot of room. Jordy, sorry, can you remind me how much the bag of holding can take as far as weight or volume?
500.
500?
Yeah.
So I had 5 pounds written before we got the chains. I can't remember how much they weighed.
What were the chains again? It was
Like the iron and rune chains that were binding that demon that we slayed.
No, you left those with the shaman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can take
We're
450 pounds worth of stuff.
Yeah. So the weights of the metal of the precious metals is clearly laid out. You can easily take all of that. The gems are a little bit negligible. We'll say all in they weigh about 5 pounds.
Oh, Allura is literally grasping at this box.
Yeah.
It's small enough it can go in her bag, yeah?
This the chest with the gems.
Yeah.
Well, the gems are each in individual satchels. So you don't have to take the chest. You can just take the satchels if you want.
Money bag.
Yeah. So you've got it's 3 different, or it's each of the gems are separated in by clarity and size, and then by color. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a total of 11 satchels with all the different gems of all the different sizes.
Okay, I would give the big ass anything like diamond, clarity, anything like...
Anything you know can revive you.
Yes, I will hand those. I'm going to look through all of the bags. I'm going to be like, Leaf, I think that you should have these ones.
Oh, thank you. And I'll take the little bag. And were there any uncut opals?
There were not any uncut opals.
Ah, damn. All right, well, thank you very much. This is, and I'll just sort of tuck this away into my little, into my baby Bjorn.
Can I? There wasn't any in there, but I'll go into my bag and there's an opal worth 50 gold pieces that I'll give to.
Oh,
Is it uncut though?
He was looking for the joke.
it's all good, yeah. Yeah, I was going for the uncut gems joke, but, this seems like good luck for you, Allura, so I'll let you keep this one.
It's too meta.
Oh,
Too
Your
meta.
present, damn it! Accept my love.
I do appreciate it, though.
When you were like, oh, there's no, I was literally like, Allura was gonna be like looking through. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but hold up, and like gonna go into her bag.
I mean, I'll take it if you want me to give you something. It's kind of looks.
Alrighty. So
Just so I know, guys, sorry, with Allura. So in the bag, we're putting the 3 metal dusts plus the gem dust. Is Allura taking the rest of the gems, or am I putting anything in the bag? Just so I know. I'm no judgment on what you do. I just want to know so I can write it down.
Allura's literally been grasping this. She would put it into her bag.
okay.
Jordy, can you send me what's in there?
It's-
Minus.
Minus. Well, it's just up to you. I put it in Slack of everything that was there, so you would just take what you wanted from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Are we also taking some of like the potion making material? If we've got empty vials, can we transfer some stuff potentially?
We have plenty of room, so we don't need to transfer. We don't really need to make room. We can just bring potion making things.
Are we gonna?
So the
put them
potion
in-
making stuff would, in total, because it is in a lot of crates and a lot of it is more on the heavy side. It's not just lighter gems and pieces of metal. The crate size, the materials inside would probably weigh close to about 900 pounds.
Oh.
So there would be you could take some things from that, just like if there's anything that was of interest to you or like anything specific. Like less, for instance, there are a couple of vials of poison and vials of acid that you could kind of use with your catapult So you could restock on those if you wanted. But yeah, outside of that, it's essentially just like, is there anything specific that we feel like we would need? This is a place to restock on it. Achaidh?
Two things. Does Achaidh recognize any kind of like interesting herbal compounds or anything like that that might be in with the potion making supplies? And two, is there any holy water or holy oil?
Okay. Herbal, no, because it's a perishable. All of these things are non-perishable. And then holy water, holy oil, also no, because they're not really used in crafting. They're more they're also modern items. They're not things that in the nature of magic would have been used. They're things created by different churches and different deities.
Okay, follow-up query, and I'm guessing that probably definitely Achaidh know, and maybe nobody else has the lore to know about this, but is there anything that we would see in the potion making kit that is sort of like kind of that demonic or devilish entities would be vulnerable to?
No. Again, it's very much just crafting materials used to make items. None of this is really designed to be used, with the exception of poison and acid, which just like have reactive properties on their own. The rest of it is all just to be used to create things.
Okay, in that case also, if there's poison that I could add to some arrows, I will probably take some poison too.
Sure. So you'd be able to grab, we'll say, 3 vials of poison. Less, you'd be able to grab 3 vials of acid if you wanted.
How many applications is each vial?
Each vial would be 1 application to a blade, or 3 applications to arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf?
Okay.
Does anyone have a wine skin? We can just pour all these into that and make like a jungle juice and speed things up if that works.
I don't really think that's how you make potions, though. I think you might just kind of bust it if you just throw it in.
Potion shit mix, just put it all in there.
That's fair. Make like the Long Island iced tea of potion.
Who knows what you get?
I was going to say, you're just making a bomb, you know. Random shit into a wineskin and then just like throw it at an enemy as it just...
I'll use my ice spoon and chuck it out of
water.
Great.
Jordy, anything else identifiable that we know, like that was a liquid or in those crates that would be useful to us?
Most of it really is just things that you know are worth money. It's something where this, specifically for if a wizard were here, might like use to restock their component pouch that they use to cast spells, right? So you're looking at like feathers from specific animals, bits of twine, string, honey, things like that they use, and molasses that they use to cast their spells. There are a couple of things that are useful outside of that, and that have value that you could absolutely take and then resell, but the value itself is definitely minimal compared to a lot of the other things you found. It's more just functionality pieces.
Cool, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we weren't like leaving out something where it was like, this is item A to make healing potions, this is item B to make healing potions.
Well, as far as I'm aware, none of you are proficient with alchemist tools. Yeah. So you aren't able to craft healing potions yourselves. It would be something where you would have to go down a route where maybe some of these things are what you use to make healing potions, but none of you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so with that, taking everything that you feel is necessary to yourselves, everybody ready to move on?
Very.
Alrighty, so excuse me.
Whoa! Happy birthday, Jordy.
Yeah. So, exiting the door and eventually moving towards the end of the hallway, the walls split at a nearly perfect 90-degree angle. 2 directions, left and right. The floor, walls, lighting, and curvature of the two are identical. The left path continuing for about 50 feet before lightly curving to the right, and the right path continuing for 50 feet before lightly curving to the left. What direction would you like to go?
Do we want to split the party?
No.
Especially there's no difference in the sound or smell or air quality coming from either path?
Identical in every way.
Okay, I say left.
Can I look down at the floor and just see if there's any markings or anything of any that would cause not concern, but like scuff marks, prints of any kind?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Hallelujah.
I'll
I
check
get to
whichever
roll.
direction he's not checking.
Natural 20 on the first roll.
Nice.
With
Nice.
the dice tower.
Allura?
That'll be a. Done.
Oh, my total, by the way, for perception?
Investigation.
Investigation. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's just natural 20.
Okay, so 20. 18. The two of you were looking at the floor, and what you had seen before with the heavy footfalls and the flaming on the ground was impacting against wood. On the stone here, there are no markings of any kind. It looks antiseptic.
It's clean, a little bit too clean.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, we're going to the left. Who wants to lead?
Yeah.
Which way smells better?
Smell identical.
Yeah. Leaf suggests left. I'm happy to
Mhm.
go leaf left.
Let's do it.
Leaf left. Alrighty. So
Leaf left.
the left tunnel continues straight ahead. Making your way closer to the curve feels like it never actually comes. The hallway just continues forward, and you don't see a change in the curvature at all. But looking back, you see the tunnel behind now has an identical curvature, about 50 feet away.
Hmm.
Same feeling as the staircase sets in as you start to continue walking before all of you suddenly feel the urge to retch again from dizziness. You hold your breath, you scrunch your eyes, and the feeling instantly subsides. But looking ahead, you now find yourselves in a triangular room, standing in front of a flat wall with a single closed metal door identical to the one you saw in the hallway before. Allura.
Our conversation after coming back from the room, that wasn't quite 10 minutes. Would have I seen anything with my detect magic as we were walking through the hallway?
No, you wouldn't have.
Well, it seems like this decision's a lot easier of where we need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move forward?
What do we see in this triangular room? Just there's a door?
Triangular room, single door on the opposite side, locked, and it's got a large keyhole on it.
Oh,
Cool. I will go and check that door for traps.
Investigation check.
Woo.
Oh, yeah.
That will be a 28.
28. Definitely not trapped. Really easy to lockpick.
Cool. I will do that.
I'll cast guidance on Allura. If I
Alright.
see her pulling out her lockpick set, I'll say, you need a little extra assistance?
Couldn't hurt. Allura's not gonna get cocky. She gets cocky. Oh,
Oh.
it's
No, you got
stuck
it.
in
You got
there.
it. You got it.
What is that? Is that a 2K? Okay. It's okay, thank you. Yeah, it got stuck like up
2.
the. So
Don't lie. Quick.
what is lock picks?
So for you, it's dexterity plus proficiency. Doubled.
Dexterity
Oh,
plus.
plus a d4.
Doubled?
So it's so because you took expertise in it, right? So it's dexterity plus proficiency plus proficiency.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, this is correct. I thought, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think it's like plus 14 or something.
It's plus 12.
Is your proficiency only plus 4?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought proficiency was plus 5. Never mind. Yep. It's plus 12 then. Yep.
Maybe gone up on 11?
No, I think it's 12 that it goes up.
I think it's 12 too. Okay, so that will be 34?
34? Alrighty. Yeah. You literally put your lockpick in, you go to put your second pick in, and you just turn the first one and it opens.
I wish it was a harder one to unlock.
Nice. We open, there's another door behind.
So, turning the lockpick, the door opens very easily, swings outward on a right hinge. You look through and you see a hallway about 10 feet wide, 20, 25 feet long, and you see an identical door on the opposite side. But now you see that there's a key ring on a hook on the right wall. And stamped on the door on the far side is the number 6.
Do you think that's maybe the 6th page of the book that Elise was talking about?
Well, there were 7 members of the Covenant of the Shield, but
Yeah.
No, I'm talking that book. The book with all the magic stuff. The book, the magic encyclopedia.
that was one
Basically, yeah.
that Les found, I think.
Right. Les, were you telling us about that? The book? Did you talk about the book? Did
It
you
was
tell
the Book of the Nether Scrolls.
about the pages? Did you tell us about that or no?
Yeah, I think we pretty much just said that we told everyone what we
Okay.
read, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there were 50 scrolls broken down into 5 chapters. It was just that it was on the 4th chapter when he started talking about what the chapters were. That was kind of when he went a little bit more quiet.
Right, but
Yeah.
that like
But the fact that 50 scrolls exist, that was definitely clearly explained.
yes. Okay. All right, let's try this again. I'm wondering if we need some information off of the 6th scroll. Was there? Did you have that book with you, Les? Did you bring the book?
Yeah, I took it with me.
You took it. Oh, okay. Well, it's a really big book. Like it's 2 hands. So
I was
you,
taking it.
okay.
Pull it out of hammer
Anything in
space.
it about the scrolls or traveling around, I just like put it under my arm.
So yeah. So you've got the book with you, and you kind of opening it up again. You notice that now the pages are blank.
Oh,
Hey,
Listen.
hey,
I'm
What the fuck?
here. I don't know. You took the book. Did you not
Only
think there would be
one
some
back.
kind of an enchantment on it?
I like this Ostilian.
oh, son of a bitch. The book goes all etch a sketch if you take it out of the room. I don't know why it's not here anymore.
Yeah, fair.
I'm gonna go and take a look at the number 6 on that on the door.
Okay. So just to clarify, so you've opened the door, and you see this door on the far side, the number 6 on it, a key ring with keys on it on the right hand side.
All right. I guess. Yeah, I would walk towards the keys.
Okay. So yeah, you start to walk down the hallway, checking very carefully. Nothing seems to be trapped. You walk up and grab the keys. So you notice that there are 11 keys on the key ring. 10 of them are stamped with the numbers 1 through 10 and are about the same size, just slightly different bits to the keys themselves. And then one is a little bit larger than the others.
Abstract puzzle or strong.
As it seems, you guys. Do you think I should should I use the key that says number 6 on this number 6 door?
I mean, that would, whether or not that works, that would probably be a good place to start.
Or is it a 9?
True.
Is there a differentiating on the keys? Is there like 1 through 9? Is there a
There's a dot.
there's a little dot?
There is a little dot.
Okay.
These wizards were smart, wicked smart.
So smart.
They would be Wizards of the Coast, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. I will. Everyone ready? Something might happen.
It's all right. I'll throw this useless book at them if they come at us.
Alrighty. So taking which key do you want to use?
Oh, but it's the first door. So okay, you guys, number 6 or number 1?
I'd say match the number to the number.
I
Or
mean,
start there.
Yeah, I feel like we're overthinking
yeah, I think this one
Okay,
might
I'll
be.
use number 6.
Use number 6? Okay. So
Jordy, if this doesn't open.
so you
The
take
door explodes. You're all dead.
you take the
Fuck.
key. You take the key ring. You flip through. Eventually, find number 6. You put the key into the door, and it fits. You turn the key turns, the door pushes open, and you see an identical hallway. Again, another metal door on the far side, but now an empty key ring on the right-hand side. And you again see the number 6 stamped on the door.
Ooh, I like this.
It's a puzzle.
Are we looking at our ones right now?
Are we in a triangular room again?
No, now you're in a straight hallway. You've just got the door that's closed behind you.
Okay. Okay.
Do we, and sorry, like, we're just seeing a room, like, we're not, like, looking at ourselves, like, the ass end of ourselves right now?
No, you're looking at another identical hallway to the one that you were already in, but you have another door stamped with the number 6 on the far side.
There could be some good Benny Hill bits coming up here.
Go through it 6 times, yeah.
Yeah, should we try the 6 key again?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll use the same key.
Why don't you try the number 7 in the 6? Like, just go up by 1 and see.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Find the 6 god if we keep doing this.
I'm happy with any option, to be honest. I trust all of your thinkings.
Key out.
Sorry?
Was I able to take the key with me?
Yeah. You still have the key ring. You literally put it in, unlocked the door, pushed it open a little bit, and then took the key back out.
Okay. So should we keep matching the key to the door, or what did we decide?
I suggest to try the key labeled number 7.
Yeah,
but honestly, I'm kind of happy with whatever the group consensus is.
Do it. 7. Go.
I think we've got some time. Leaf pulls out his little trail mix. You know, there's lots of things we can be, got a whole, you know, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, I don't see the logic in going to number 7 if, like, that makes 0 sense to me.
Might just try stuff.
I'm gonna try number 6 again.
Okay.
So everybody pushes into the hallway. Door closes behind you again. You walk up to the front to that door. Number 6 key in. Turn again. Turns very easily. Door opens inward. An identical hallway. Empty key ring on the right-hand side. Door stamped with a number 6.
Take the key ring off of this key ring and put it onto the key ring beside the empty one.
So there's one empty key ring. Sorry, so it's a key holder. Like, imagine you've just got like a key holder like you guys have in your door, beside your door. And it's just, there's no keys on it. It's identical to the ones that you've seen as you walked in, but before this key ring was on that key holder.
So it's just a hook?
Yeah, it's just a hook.
And nothing on it?
Nothing on it.
Is there a way to, like, get the keys off of this ring that I have?
Nope, the key ring is a single piece.
Allura, you said there wasn't, you know, putting in the 7th key makes no sense. I mean, in Elif's defense, maybe it'll take us to the 7th room.
Yep, no, you're right. That's, but why did it start at 6? Absolutely, I will try that. I just want to know why this is the... yeah, I'll try the 7th key.
Okay. So going up to the door, kind of half expecting the key to not fit, because it is a slightly different bit. You put the key in, and it fits perfectly. Lock turns, door opens, and this time you again see an identical hallway, identical door on the far side, identical key ring, but now the number 7 stamped on the door.
Ah.
Oh.
I should just blindly trust you more.
That's all Elif. Y'all hung out for a while.
All right, I'll try the number 8.
Okay. So going through, closing the door behind, just trying the number 8 again. Fits perfectly. Door opens. Identical hallway, identical key ring, identical door. Number 8 stamped on it.
Is there one that's maybe a little different from the others? Like, maybe we should try that one. Is there...
I tried 7. It got us to room 8.
No, you tried 7. It brought you to a room with number 7 on the far side. You tried 8. It brought you to another hallway with number 8 on the far side.
Right, so I'll try number 9.
Okay, same thing. Key 9 goes in. Turn the lock. Door opens. Identical hallway, identical empty key ring. Door stamped with the number 9 on the far side.
Can I see the key ring for a second? You said there's no way to take the key off the ring, right?
Correct. It's a single piece of solid metal.
But we're moving through rooms. So
I think we're
try
just
number 8.
looping. I think we're
Where's
just
number
going into the
10?
same room that we're opening. Like, I think this is a continuous loop. I don't think we're actually going anywhere.
Les looks for the key that says plane of water on it.
I'll try number 10.
Okay. Number 10 key fits in, turns, door opens. Again, identical empty key ring, identical door on the far side, stamped with the number 10.
Okay. And then, so there's keys.
Keys 1 through 9 and 10.
1 through 10. And then
1 through 10. And then a bigger key that isn't stamped with anything.
Yeah, I will.
Mystery door.
I will do that. I will try the key with no. What do you guys think? Because there's no other key that said there's no key 11. There's just this blank key.
Do it.
That makes a lot of sense. Either that or 1, I think.
Yeah.
Both
Well,
those
that's
options make
it.
sense.
Like, is the keyhole like same size?
No, keyhole is definitely smaller than this key.
But the other,
Smaller
you
than
tried a
this
bigger
key,
key
but
into it, and
key-
it fit. Earlier, there was a key that was bigger than the thing, and it fit into it.
No, the key that we're looking at is the bigger one. It doesn't fit into the keyhole. The keyhole's
Yeah,
too small.
Right,
Yeah.
but I thought Drake said earlier that there was a key that didn't match the keyhole, but you put it in and it worked anyway.
No.
Was I wrong?
It's just
No.
that the bits are slightly different, so you didn't think that it would work. Like, if you've got a house key, you know what your house key looks like. If you take another random key and put it in, you don't think it's going to work. But this
Right.
still did.
Well, going off of that, if it looked like it shouldn't work, maybe try it.
Can I try the number 10 key and the number 1 key at the same time?
There's a single lock. You're not able to fit both keys at the same time.
Cross track
Double
drifting.
that door lock. Just get them both in there.
Yeah, I guess I'll try number 1.
Okay. All right. Take number 1 key, fit it into the door, kind of hoping maybe making the turn is going to make the difference. Making the turn, door opens. Identical hallway, identical empty key ring, identical door, stamped with the number 1.
Oh, can we turn around and exit through the room? Like, go back.
Oh.
If we go back, does it get us into the other room? Because there was a key into that.
Ready Player One style. Go backwards.
So the door behind you, the one that you're closing, doesn't have a keyhole on it.
Okay, so like the room. Okay, so we came in the 6th room, but we like came through this little triangle room.
Yeah. So, but
Can we
every
get-
time you've made that you've gone to each new hallway, the door has closed behind you.
Okay, so if we were to click the 6th room and then open the door behind us, it would like send us. I mean, can we?
Yeah.
Test that?
So we're gonna go use the number 2 key.
Use the number 2 key.
Number 2
Yeah.
key or number 6 key?
Well, we haven't done 2, 3, 4, or 5 yet.
Yeah,
right?
do we
Yeah, I
think
mean we can
move through them?
Metro Ave this shit if
Or
we
going
want.
once just to be sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in hallway number 1 right now, door number 1. So you're putting number 2 key in it.
2 key, yeah.
Okay. Number 2 key turns, door opens, empty key ring, door on the far side, stamped with the number 2.
Cool. Number 3 key.
Okay. Number 3 key, door opens, empty key ring, door stamped with the number 3.
Number 4 key.
Number 4, open, empty key ring, door stamped number 4.
Okay, number 5 key.
Number 5 key, open, empty key ring, door stamp number 5.
We
And then number 6 key.
do it again.
Number 6 key, door open, empty key ring, door stamp with number 6.
How about this? We open the door, we stick something so it stays open, and we open the next door.
So sorry, when the door closes, if I was to try and exit the room at the back of the 6th room, it would put me back into the 5th room.
You don't know, you haven't tried.
Can I try that right now?
Yeah.
So everybody moves into the 6th hallway.
Okay, yeah.
Close the door behind you, and you try to reopen the door.
Yeah, reopen the door behind.
Okay. Door opens into the triangular room that you started in.
Okay, perfect. can we try going in here? Because this door that we just came in has a keyhole, right? That Allura had to pick.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Can we go in and try that?
Okay. All right, so everybody files out back into the triangular room. Allow the door to close, this door having no number on it. It's got the very large, very easy to pick lock on there.
Yeah, I'm going to use the big key on that door.
Okay.
On that.
So in comparison to the simple clunk you heard when you picked the lock, turning this key instead gives a satisfying series of clicks, and the door swings open to reveal a 25 by 25 foot square chamber with another door on the other side. Though this door has no handle, no keyhole, and no hinges visible. So you're in essentially a room that's 5 by 5 tiles on the ground. And you haven't moved into it yet. This is just what you're looking at. And you see a door on the far side, no keyhole, no hinges. Doesn't look like it should open in any way, but there is a door there.
Okay.
Is there anything on the tiles on the floor, Jordy?
Go and make an investigation check.
Yeah.
I will help them.
Okay, make an investigation check yourself.
I rolled a 6.
A 6?
In total.
Okay. Allura?
I rolled a total of 16.
16, okay. Best you can tell, nothing really stands out. The tiles are all very similar. The door on the other side is just a little weird. The key ring that you're holding kind of feels useless at this point. You're not sure.
Not putting this keyring down.
Okay.
Can I go over to the door?
Sure. So which tile do you want to step on? Do you just want to step straight across?
I wonder what that could signal. I will check for traps on the way there.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Do you need help with that, Les?
I got a 19.
Don't.
Don't fucking need it.
Okay. 19, you kind of look down at the floor, try to get a feeling like maybe it's a pressure plate or something, and like kind of hesitantly put your hand out over it. Nothing. Put a little bit of weight down on your hand. Nothing. Feel pretty good. You go ahead and take a step forward. And you put a little bit of pressure onto it and just kind of like instinctively are ready to jump off, and nothing happens. You put a little bit more weight, Okay, you're good. And then you start to put most of your body weight on it. And as soon as you do that, you just hear a and a series of lightning strikes upwards from out of the floor. You make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Are you within 10 feet of me, Les?
Yeah, everybody would be within 10 feet of you at the moment.
So what does that do again?
Just gives you +2.
+2!
Do a full gainer out of this?
Oh, shit. Oh my god.
Oh.
12.
Okay, so 12 is a failure. It's 4d10 lightning damage.
Sweet.
Judging by my expression, what do you think I rolled?
A bunch of ones.
I can't really tell anymore.
I mean,
Let's go with
40.
the opposite of that. 4d10, I rolled 4 10s, less you take 40 points of lightning damage
Oh boy.
as you put your full weight on this.
photograph of that.
I have the zeros right here. I can show you on the webcam. I rolled them 2 at a time, and the first 2 were 10s. That's why I was like, oh my god. And then these 2 were zeros afterwards.
Whoa.
We gotta. So we fully see Les's. He goes like, what do you call it? Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah,
Or not
he goes
Christmas
full
with the Cranks,
Tim
fucking,
Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen. National Lampoon. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Home Alone, the
Yeah.
the-
there we go.
Yeah. So, Les, you start to put your full weight on it, and in comparison to before, you're like, oh, I'm totally good. You just kind of like jump onto it, your feet hit the ground, and instinctively just lock into the ground as
So
40...
just before we start talking about this, just so I'm clear
Yes.
on what an investigation check does when looking at tiles.
Yes.
When I investigate going forward
Mhm.
for tiles and things, does that automatically mean I just go and step on things, or am I looking at tiles before stepping on them?
No, you were looking at tiles before stepping on them. So you looked to see if there was a pressure plate. You took your
Correct.
Your
but
spear.
You never asked me to step if I was going to step forward.
I mean, first you said you
made
were
that choice
to the
for
beginning.
me. I'm just putting it out there.
No, you said that.
You said
Yeah, you said you were going.
You said you were going forward. You checked it for traps. I told you there were no traps,
checked
and you said okay.
yeah. You walked
Well, you said,
forward.
do you want to like go to the door? You're like, oh, do you want to like what tile you're stepping on?
Hey,
I said,
Jordy,
I want to
Jordy,
investigate, like,
Jordy.
anyway, it doesn't matter. I got electrocuted. It's all good.
I was gonna say, if I can see Les checking the thing and he says it's good, like I'll step into it. I have no problem doing that.
No, it's okay. I got the damage. It's
Okay.
good.
So, but instinctively, you feel that shocking, and you just like shit. Look to where you can go. You can either go back to where you know it's safe, or you can try to jump to another tile.
I will go back to where I know it's safe.
Okay.
Fall backward.
After seeing Les get electrocuted, can I take a look? I know he looked at it, but like, can I take a look to see if there's anything indicating that he missed? Knowing that I'm better at looking for that type of like pressure pads, or to see if it's innately magical and not.
I'll allow you to re-roll at disadvantage. Now seeing what the trap is that was triggered, kind of getting an idea that maybe this is a pressure plate kind of thing. I'll let you re-roll that at disadvantage. Because you've already rolled it once, so now you're looking again, you're going back over your own work, so you're second-guessing yourself.
I didn't cast guidance on the first roll. Can I cast guidance on this roll?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I would have thought that would be like now at advantage because I know what.
You just know that this specific tile is trapped.
Right. So I know that it's trapped. So I know what I'm looking for when I'm looking at this tile. I'm like, this one is trapped. I'm trying to find how it's trapped, but I know that it's trapped. Wouldn't that be at advantage and not disadvantage?
Oh, so you're looking just specifically at this tile, or are you looking at all of the...
This tile,
Okay.
because I missed it. I want to learn what it is, the mechanism. I know that I'm better at looking and seeing all of that, so I want to look at that specific tile so that I know what I'm looking for moving forward.
Okay, I'll say Leaf would assist you with that, so to give you a straight roll plus the d4 for guidance.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jordy,
Yes.
after I assist Allura with this, I have like a cloth headband on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to take that off, letting my just like absolutely gorgeous mane now tumble out.
Yes.
The whole party can see it. It's just beautiful. And I want to take out my 10-foot pole.
Okay.
And wrap my hands like around the cloth on the pole.
Okay.
So it's not like there's no like skin contacting the pole.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to look to Allura for her kind of assessment whether or not I can tap any of these things.
Okay. So Allura, what was your roll?
I rolled a 19. So
19.
it was
Yeah, as best you can tell, you see exactly the same thing Les did. You very carefully put your hand out, you put a little bit of pressure onto it, you take your rapier, you put a little bit more pressure onto it, and then eventually just kind of realize, if I put more pressure on this, or maybe it's the whole body weight, I don't know, something about this is going to trigger a trap, but you don't know how it's triggered.
Okay.
Okay. Can I... Okay, so there's 5.
So it's 5
Five
by
by five?
5, so it's 25 total
Okay, cool.
tiles.
Oof. Okay, first off, I just want to say this is a tall order for our track record with puzzles, but I will take my 10-foot standing further back, wrapping my hands, and tap the tile next to the one to the right, the one that Les stepped on. And
Okay.
I need to draw out a diagram here. This is
Yeah, I
this is
wanna
some
draw
AD&D
out-
shit right now. I love it.
All right, so yeah.
Jordy, sorry. Is there a map on roll 20 of this room just to help with visualization?
This is one that you guys can draw a map if you want. This wasn't something that I created a map for.
all good.
So Leaf, tapping that tile, go and make a perception check for me.
Perception check. Yeah.
Yes.
That is... That's all right. 19.
19. Okay. Tapping on the tile,
Yeah.
you don't really notice any difference.
Okay. And I want to like really be. I should say, can I like put my weight, like the kind of same amount of weight that I think less weighs, like onto it?
Okay.
And force.
Sure. So you do that. You kind of get a little bit more weight, a little bit more weight. You're kind of like levering yourself up as best you can, and then putting as much weight down. And eventually, there hits a point where you feel a little bit of a as it just kind of goes down just a little bit, and then lightning. Lightning does not come up out of this one.
Okay. So that was the one to the right of what Les stepped on?
Correct.
Okay. Ooh, this is fun. Okay.
Was the one that Les stepped on like the center of the first 5?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah. Okay. Leaf is gonna turn to the party with like the biggest shit-eating grin because I've been carrying this 10-foot pole for literally like 80 sessions right now.
Yep.
Finally.
It's finally paid off.
So I'll allow you now to roll another perception check for me.
Okay.
Because you think you've found one tile that is safe, and you felt a very, very minor.
Okay, that's 26.
26. Okay. So with that, now realizing and kind of talking with Allura and with Achaidh and realizing that Les had put a lot of weight onto this one tile, but nothing seemed to happen except for the lightning, but you putting a similar amount of weight on this other one, you realize that there is a very, very minor difference between 5 specific tiles looking like literally horizontal to the ground. You see that there are 4 other very specific tiles. It's effectively a reverse pressure plate scenario.
Okay.
So these 5 tiles are the 5 safe tiles.
Okay.
And you would imagine that most likely where normally pressure plates would trigger a trap, these ones would likely trigger the door to open if all 5 of them were pressed simultaneously.
Oh, fun.
Yay!
Hell yeah. Okay, so we know the one in front.
So Les, also just as a reminder, because as time progresses, you also heal off of your ring. So
every
I think it's every 10 minutes or something you get a D6. So by this point, with all the looking and searching, you would have already healed for a D6.
Okay.
Nice.
I had a wall of water scenario. I was gonna try.
Love this shit.
Yeah, water, lightning, that works.
Yeah.
Well, no, remember we talked about creating the wall,
the old galaxy brain,
going over things.
Yeah.
Is 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
That could have been a thing.
Water doesn't weigh anything, right?
Well, that's a you decision.
Exactly. So, Leaf, with that high roll, it was a 20 to notice that the tiles were trapped, and a 25 to notice which ones were safe. So you beat both of them on the single roll. So with that, you do recognize the 4 other tiles. Now they are spread out in the room. So if you number from 1 to 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., on your 5x5 grid, the safe tiles are number 4.
Okay.
Number 7.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, 5. So that would be okay.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Number 15.
Oh shit. Okay. 9, 10, 11. Okay.
Number 17.
Okay.
And number 23.
Okay, cool. So I direct everyone in the party to make athletics checks, or just to whoever thinks they can make those far, the far one will require the person to kind of jump to the one a row in front, then hop a row.
As I'm smoking, I'll be like, I'll try it. I'm already fucked up anyway.
Yeah, I would be fine trying to do an athletics and kind of jump and kind of push off of the side to get to the far one. Kind of parkour.
Matrix style.
Do the wall kick?
Yeah, I would like to run on a wall, please.
Wall run.
How would you wall run? None of them are up against. Only the one on the right is up against a wall.
Would it be a wall run and then you
They're
wall
up against
kick
the wall.
off it?
They're so by the numbers that you gave me, this one's up against a wall, or that one's up against a wall.
Oh, okay. So your door is in the wrong place.
Is the door
upside down
across from us?
So the door is directly across from you guys.
Yeah.
So hang on, I'll Give me a second. I'll draw this out really quick.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I like we can probably just abstract that we like understand it. Like, if there's none that are up against the wall, we can just like wall skip off or whatever, right?
Hang on, just
because these are 5 by 5.
Yeah. So the tiles are 5 feet. So hang on.
I think the way that Allura was showing you was maybe like supposed to be like this way.
Upside down.
So sorry, I said 4, 7, 15. Right?
Yeah, 4 and 15.
Yep.
17.
Yeah.
And 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I think it's 15 is the one that we're thinking that's up against the wall.
So this
The wall, is it not?
Ooh, this is fun.
This
Hey.
is the thing. So this is where you are.
Oh.
Safe, 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 safe.
Wait, hold
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
so
1,
the one-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh,
7, 8,
okay.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and
on.
so on.
Okay. So, Jordy, I think what we're thinking is that there's this like row essentially where we can like run to like where the door is. We have it written out, I think, the right way if I'm understanding, but I'm treating it like in my head I was treating it like we have this like row of safety that we can kind of like angle to, and we're not just starting on the first door, on the first square. So like there's space for Allura to like run to the side. Am I correct in thinking that? Like I think we'll be able to jump to everything.
So effectively, this is designed that
Yeah.
that each square is 5 feet. So
Yep.
you can make your way to the first safe spot pretty easily, right? You
Yeah.
you hang onto the door and you just hop over like 2 feet and you're there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To make your way from that is a 10-foot jump in one of 2 directions.
Okay, yeah. So who thinks they can make like who? So who thinks that like I'm probably the least
I'm
There's
pretty
some-
goddamn good at this kind of stuff.
standing leaps?
Famous last
Is
words.
there anything on the roof?
Hi.
Anything on the roof? No. It's a perfectly square chamber in every way.
Alright, I'm not good unless I can, like, Legolas the shit out of it. And it doesn't sound like I can Legolas the shit out of this, so I will not be one of the further folks.
Yeah.
Jump
Yeah.
on.
If it helps, if I were to put a number on how athletic I am, it's an 8. Plus
Okay. This isn't athletics. This is just strength. So I can give you guys a thing where I can tell you what your accurate jump distances are, and then you can make judgments based on that. So we'll just start. We'll go around. Allura, what is your strength score?
I think it's -1.
Right, but what is the actual score? Is it 8 or 9?
Oh, it's a 9.
9. And how tall are you in feet and inches?
Oh, I don't know that. I think I have it written down somewhere. I am 5'8" is what I have written down. That's completely arbitrary.
5'8". Okay, so your running jump distance is 4 feet.
Yeah.
So you can clear 4 feet. So you could get to the one directly beside the door on a running jump. But any of the ones further in, you would have to try and dodge a trap to get to that.
So
Okay.
can I like test it with like a dex save to see if I like can jump fast enough to before it electrocutes?
Yeah, effectively that's what it is. That's what happened with Les, is that he failed his dex save, so he was trapped in the lightning.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay.
I'll try to go to the far one. Let's test our luck because this is
So if you're going to the far one, you're literally running across 4 unsafe
Yeah, it's 4.
tiles. So you're gonna have to make.
Like this seems like a.
Well, sorry, 3 unsafe. 3 unsafe. Because you can go to the safe one on the right.
yeah,
So
and there's another one on the left.
So it's all dependent on how you want to path there. Do you just want to run directly there, or do you want to run safe to safe?
Well, I would like to bounce safe to safe until I can't make it.
Okay, so the quickest and easiest route for you would be to go from the door to the tile in front, dodge the trap, and make it to the safe on the left.
Okay.
Go from the safe on the left, dodge the trap to the safe in front of you. Right?
Okay.
You're effectively just drawing a little maze, right? And then you
Yeah.
can go safe to safe. The last one is an easy one because it's just a diagonal connection.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
Okay. All right. So, going from the door, you're kind of, and you quickly just make a running jump. Go and make a dex save for me because your foot just barely touches on the edge of that tile.
Get it, Mario.
Oh my gosh.
Don't break my
I
tile.
didn't mean to break it.
Huzzah.
And just a dex save?
Dex save, yeah.
+2 if you're still close to me.
What?
And
Yep, 20. So 20 is a success. You instantly put your foot down on the ground. You feel the crackling, like essentially reaching up, trying to grab your foot to lock you in place. But you instantly pull your foot off and land on the other tile as it all goes vertical with the lightning and you don't take any damage.
Good job.
Okay, so that's the first one. Try to jump to the second one. Go and make another dex save.
Nice.
22.
22. Same thing again. With this time, you're kind of used to the timing now. You've got like an extra quarter of a second that you can leave your foot connected before it's going to lock you in place and you take the damage. But you instantly tap your foot down, lift it off, and then land safely on the other side as lightning appears again. And you know at this point you are essentially safe because you can jump back and forth between the two safe tiles.
Okay.
All right, so Allura, you're on the far one right beside the door.
Sure.
Alrighty. So who's going next?
I'll go.
Okay, so Les, what is your strength score?
It is a whopping 19.
19. How tall are you?
5'9".
5'9". Your long jump is 9 feet horizontally, so you can jump between tiles with no real issue.
Ah!
All right.
I take the most unharmful route. No, I'm kidding. So I'm still... Do I have to tell you like where I'm jumping to?
Yeah.
Or do
So
I
tell me the order that you want to jump in.
to look at this map?
Oh, this is completely incorrect.
It's the wrong map.
It's not right at all.
If I remember from what you just showed me, step over to the left where there's a couple of free ones there, right? Or no, there was one off to the right that was a free one.
Yeah. So one off to the right is a free one, and then there's two tiles. So, but in order to get so this is a running jump. So you can jump 9 feet. With a running jump to make it to another tile. But a running jump requires, I think it's running start 5e. I think it's 10 feet. Yeah, it's 10 feet of movement towards the jump before jumping.
We don't have that much space in front of this tile space.
Oh, holy crap. Wow, I read this totally wrong. I apologize. Never mind. So Allura, for the first one, you actually didn't need to make a dex save, because with a running start, you can jump 8 feet horizontally. So you can jump to the first one. It's only without a running jump that you would have had to make one. Less, with a running start for you, your long jump is 19 feet horizontally. So,
Whoa!
so it's up.
Ow!
So it's up to you. You can either make a running jump to the one that's far right and know that you're going to make that with no real issue, or you can make a running jump to the one that's near where Allura is, but what you would have to do is jump to the safe tile, and then you can jump straight from the safe tile to the other safe tile. So it's up to you if you want to jump really far to get the tile that's kind of a little further away, or if you want to get closer to where the exit is. Either way, you don't need to make a dex save.
Yeah, I'll go the longer way.
Okay, so Les with a nice running start, 10 feet, and you just leap off the ground, you land, impact your hands against the wall to hold yourself there, and you're safely on that tile. You feel it just kind of go as you land on it.
Spider-crab, spider-crab.
All right, so that's 2. Who wants to go next?
Well, I can. I have a pretty good balance between strength and dex.
All right, what's your strength?
14.
14. How tall are you?
5'7".
5'7". All right. Your long jump is 14 feet horizontally with a running start, 7 feet horizontally without one. So you would be able to running jump to the safe tile on the left, but you'd have to make a dex save to try and get to the one that's closest to Allura.
Okay. If I jump to the safe tile, that means that somebody else won't be able to get to that one, I'm guessing. Like, they won't be able to occupy that space?
They can if you move off of it.
Right, okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if I jump to the safe one, then like somebody who has less dex will have to make a save instead of me?
No.
Okay.
The safe tiles are always safe. It's only if you have to go to the ones that are further out that you might have to make a dex save because you can't quite get there.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So in your case, you make your running leap. You easily jump and land on that closest tile. Actually, yeah, your long jump is 7 feet horizontally, so you can actually clear the second one without any issue.
Okay, perfect.
Everybody got zipped around. Hang on. So actually, with this, it's something that at this point is actually already done. Oops. Why is this being so weird? There we go. Okay, so then with Aleith done, and then Hope and Leaf being the two that are left, you two are easily able to occupy those last remaining tiles with no real issue. So, for you guys, no checks required.
Cool.
Excuse me.
Sweet.
Alrighty. So, as the 5 tiles are all depressed, and you all feel a slight as you land on them, once all 5 are depressed, you depress even further into the ground, about almost 8 to 10 inches into the ground, like a pretty substantial distance, until eventually you hear the door on the other side, just a loud kang, and then the door opens on the other side of the room. And all of you kind of instinctively put your hands out, and you feel that the electrical field and like kind of putting your hands out is now effectively gone. You've disarmed the trap and are able to move through even the trapped spaces without taking any damage.
Hooray!
Okay.
Alrighty. So, okay, so making your way through that one. Excuse me. Alrighty. So, making your way through the door, you see that it opens into a large, lit room. 8 circular basins rest atop matching pedestals, while a massive crystalline statue of a humanoid kneels with empty, outstretched hands on the opposite end of the room. Moving around, you notice that each basin contains a sheathed weapon of differing varieties. Axes, swords, a longbow, warhammer, all different types. But you see no other doors in the room.
More puzzles.
Before any of us move farther into the room, can we check to see if there's any more pressure plates or tripwires or anything like that?
Sure. Allura or whoever wants to roll for that, you can both, 2 people can roll investigation checks.
Ooh, not 20.
Net 20.
Oh, yeah, good enough. Nothing seems to be trapped here as best you can tell. The weapons are very nice. Like you're looking at some of the hilts and you're like, wow, these would be really nice to wield. The statue on the opposite side is kind of kneeling, hands up, kind of similar to the one that you saw outside, but in comparison to cupped hands, like a bowl, this is more like hands up as if to place something on the hands.
Do we have to give an offering of weapons?
Or offering of ruby dust.
Less?
Do I get another d6 from my ring?
Yes, you do.
Hey!
Can we?
So this is one where I do actually have a Roll20 map. So I'm just going to give you. I'm going to give you a view of that one. You guys are in this one, and I'm going to drag you here. So it's kind of in the middle.
Are we going on Roll20? Oh shit.
Yep.
I didn't know if he was bringing it up or not.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, check that out.
Now move it like a gypsy. Stop, boom, back it up. Now let me see your hips. Sweet.
Zach.
What are you doing?
Whoa!
Ooh, I
Look
like
at that
the color.
purple man. Purple man,
Okay.
purple man.
Do we know
Purple
it's
man.
a gender?
It is a crystalline statue of some kind. Doesn't seem to be particularly humanoid. just kind of has arms and has legs.
It's Christian.
Creature.
Everybody's messed up here. Sorry, chat. I'm going to get roll 20 up in just a sec, but everybody needs to move around.
It's an amethyst creature. Statue.
Kaylee, do you need any assistance with moving around with laptop, or is laptop okay?
There we go. All right, so it's up on chat.
I think it's fine, but I will let you know if it's still loading for me. But
Jordy, just quick, can we see what type of weapons these things are? Are they all just swords? Are they spears, nunchucks, whatever? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so each of those circular basins, they've each got a different weapon in them. You see that one is a great axe, one is a great sword, warhammer, a long sword, morning star, battle axe, maul, and longbow. So there are all different weapons. And they're all currently in sheaths of some kind, so you can't see any of the blades or any of the damaging ends of the weapons.
Can anyone ping to see if those things are magical?
Oh yeah, I can do that, and I'll cast detect. I'll click my detect magic on.
Okay, so clicking detect magic on, you see that every weapon is magical, and the golem is magical.
Okay, so pretty much everything here is magical, just so we're aware.
Does the golem have any sort of like belt or like sheath on them?
Nothing.
Nothing. What weapon they might wield?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Elith?
Oh no.
Folks first.
Oh, sorry, I don't see your finger. I apologize.
That's okay. I realized, like, you know,
I'm looking at the roll at the stream thing, so I only get like this of each of you.
Oh, good reference to know that for future. I was just gonna turn to Les real quick and be like, "Hey, it seemed that the lining took you pretty bad before. Do you need any like, how are you feeling before we enter this room with this beautiful crystal creature golem?"
I mean, I feel pretty shitty. I mean, this ring thing is like kind of helping, but it takes a very long time. I'm still smoking currently. It's...
Yeah, you touch less, and your hair just like goes like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, like static electric.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
well,
I'm still pretty hurt. I took like almost half my hit points.
Well, with Les saying that, and I've touched him and gotten some of that static, I do lay on hands and give him 20 HP, and his hair gets a little bit like less static, and so does mine. Yeah,
So
a little bit sadder.
Okay, so that's going to tap you out of lay on hands? Because you used 40 last time.
Oh, I mocked out that I used 15 and not 40. Okay, I see what I did there. Then yes, I will tap out of lay on hands.
Okay, so unless you get another... How
15.
much? 15. Okay, so unless you get 15 more.
Huzzah! I will take it. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, Jordy, for that correction. I was like, oh, sweet, I only topped up by 15?
No, that was when, you took your short rest and you're like, I'm just going to roll 3 hit dice and get myself 40 lay on hands. And I'm like, okay. Sure.
Seems legit.
Alrighty. So, Les, with that little bit of a top up, looking around the room, you've got the 8 weapons, you've got the closed door behind you, you've got the golem on the other side, hands kind of up as if expecting something to be placed.
I wonder what it could be. So checking on the floor, we were...
Sorry. Elise, you did have your finger up. I apologize.
Yes. I was just going to say, Elise goes over to the longbow and starts looking at it. She doesn't pick it up. But, like, you're not really going to keep Elise away from a magic longbow, so...
But are we absolutely certain that the floor is okay?
Yes.
We did an investigation check.
But I did one too, and I fell onto it, so I'm making sure.
Yeah.
I'll do it carefully.
Okay.
But I'm also not, we have to walk into the room sometime.
Alrighty. So, Alith, you make your way over to where the longbow is. It doesn't really matter where they are on the map, so you can just kind of pick one, and that's where the longbow is. And you looking at it, you see that it's in some kind of a quiver sheath, so you can't actually see the bow itself, but the sheath looks very nice.
Can I get a sense of anything coming off of it in terms of like
what it can do?
like theme, like any tooling on the leather sheath or anything like that? Yeah.
On the leather sheath, as best you can tell, it does appear to be elvish make. You recognize some of the some of kind of the top of the bow and the sheath itself, kind of some of the leaf patterns that are on it. You would imagine that it's likely elvish.
Wood elvish, maybe?
Potentially.
Okay. Yeah, Elise doesn't touch yet, but she's sort of like, you can see that she's like, it takes effort for her not to be like, pull it out and start looking at it. She's just sort of like, okay.
All right.
But I mean, I think maybe we should be careful, like, taking these things. That fucker might come to life if that happens. Who knows?
Don't trust anything.
So you're just kind of standing in front of the longbow. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I'll take a look at the longsword.
Longsword? Okay. Do you want to just look? So it's currently in a sheath. Do you want to just leave it in the sheath and look at it, or do you want to pick it up and look at the blade itself?
The sheath is attached to these statuesque things?
No. So effectively, these are just, if you can imagine, like a really big, round, flat top. The weapons are just placed on the flat top in sheaths.
Okay, I will take the sheath.
Okay.
Inspect. Before I do that,
Mhm.
I want to inspect said column very thoroughly before taking it off.
Go make an investigation check.
Oh, good. 16.
16. Best you can tell, doesn't appear to be trapped. You kind of like instinctively pull out your spear and just poke the sheath of the longsword. Nothing happens.
Dusted everything now. Okay.
Yeah, you're able to pick it up.
All right. Taking it out of the sheath, does the blade or the metalwork look anything interesting to me, or is it just simple design?
The blade looks incredibly well made. Like very interesting though, because looking at Alith and kind of seeing what she had been looking at and kind of commenting that this potentially looks elven, this definitely does not. This is an obsidian black blade, and as you're pulling it out, you notice that there is some kind of red script that seems to be printed in there. Les, what languages do you speak?
Not that. I speak. I think it's Draconic and Primordial, primarily.
Draconic and Primordial? Okay. Yeah, this is a language that you do not recognize.
Fuck. Can I kind of signal to the rest of the party and kind of like pulling out the blade a bit with showing the red scripture and just shout, "Can anyone read this?"
Yeah, I'll kind of waddle over and take a peek.
Alrighty. Does anybody read Abyssal?
Oh. No.
No. Okay. None of you were able to read what it is. Anybody who reads Infernal, you're able to recognize the script. What it's written in is the Infernal language, but it's effectively French. Like it's written with the correct letters, but you have no idea what the words say. It's just random words.
There's some umlauts here that I don't recognize.
That actually, I think I recognize some of the lettering. Can I come up and I also waddle behind Leaf and have a little look? I just like the idea that we're all waddling today.
Waddle.
And I'm like,
little penguins.
Yeah, Newt.
Newt. Kevin, where's your shirt?
That says Newt on it.
It says Newt, motherfuckers. All right. So you waddle
I'm showing
up.
the blade in the heath in the sheath. Still, I haven't taken the blade fully out. Just showing the scriptured part.
Yeah. So basically, I'm like, oh, I recognize the characters, like the lettering, but it doesn't make any sense. It must be some other language that I don't understand. Sorry.
Wait. Does it seem like this? Does the sentencing, does it seem like it is like another language? It's not like, jumbled words, like it would make a different sentence perhaps, or is it's a language, like we can't read it?
It's a language.
Right.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Sadly.
Well, it's not every day you run across a cool, badass black bladed weapon. I'm taking this.
All right, Allura.
Les, I don't think you should take that. And then Allura very gracefully waddles over to the golem and
Gracefully waddling.
over to the golem and like look for any context clues of the whatever this fucking riddle is.
Okay. Making your way over to the golem, looking around. Go and make an investigation check.
Yeah, I would like a plaque that says I require.
Yeah. I require this weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. Do this, you will
Batteries have to
pass.
be put minus here, plus
Batteries not
here,
included.
plus this way, and that's it. Ooh. That's good.
I should know what this is off by heart, but nope, my brain doesn't work like that. That'll be a 22.
22. Looking around, the golem does appear to be made of multiple pieces of crystal that are kind of fitted together, but they shouldn't be standing. It's not supported by anything. But they... Yeah, this definitely is unnatural, obviously, but like something is kind of holding it in this position. Beyond that, nothing. There's no weapons, no belt, no sheath. All of the weapons would fit very comfortably in the outstretched hands. Maybe a little bit small for it, but that would be true of all of them.
Okay.
Elif?
Do any of the other weapons look like they have a similar motif to the amethyst golem? And also follow up, seeing that Les has taken a weapon off one of the pillars without any problems, Elif would like to give a cursory glance over the pillar to make sure that's not trapped, and then start fucking looking at this longbow.
Yeah. Cursory glance. Doesn't appear to be trapped. Kind of looking around, a brief glance with your high passive in this very dimly lit area. Nothing seems to match the golem in any way. There are no no weapons with gems encrusted on them. Everything just seems to be very nice weaponry. And in your case, you're just kind of like, oh, fuck it. He took the thing. Unsheath the bow and start to take a look at it. And you do recognize that this one does have a single elvish word written in script on the bow itself. And the word is Skye Slayer.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Jordy, I'm gonna... Sorry, so looking around, there was a morning star. Sorry, what were the other...
So it's a great axe, a great sword, a warhammer, longsword, morning star, battle axe, maul, and longbow.
Okay. Yeah, I want to take a look at the... Oh, shit. I want to make sure I pick up something I'm proficient in.
Yeah.
All the simple weapons in the room.
Surely, considering your size, wouldn't like the axe or warhammer, was it a warhammer, did you say, Jordy? Would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
actually, yeah, I think I get a warhammer thing now. So yeah, I'll take a look at the warhammer.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
I speak Elvish, Giant, and Halfling.
Elvish, Giant, and Halfling. Give me one second.
Better be written in Halfling.
Fingers
Your halflings make great warhammers.
Pick that frickin'
size is too big for them.
Okay. So you unsheathing the warhammer, you see that it's got like a pick on one side and then the blunted hammer on the other end. You don't recognize the language. It's a similar feeling to what Les had pulling out the longsword, but you do recognize the script as being Dwarvish. But there are a lot of languages that are based on the Dwarvish script.
Okay, so I would know through hanging out and all the times that Hope has procured us great drinking deals with dwarven folk. I'll kind of turn to them and say, Hope, I can't read this, but I think you can.
Oh, of course. And I waddle over from where I was next to Les.
What languages do you speak?
Not gratefully. And I'm like, And I take a look, and can I read it?
What languages do you speak?
Dwarvish, Infernal, Draconic, and Common.
It's definitely Dwarvish. It is not Dwarven. This is not the language of dwarves.
Oh,
But again, you and Leaf also know that Dwarvish is for a lot of languages. The Dwarvish script is used for Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Dwarvish, and Primordial.
Is there any kind of like similarity between the words? Like with your French thing, I'm like French and Spanish and like Italian are like the same kind of base root. No? Okay.
Dwarvish, the language of love.
That's true.
So romantic.
So you do know that there are a few other languages, and a couple of people have said that they speak languages that have that base. So we'll come back to that. Alith?
Sorry, I was just wondering if is it Faranic, the figure that I had heard of? If I knew if they specifically use like a longbow, if I had heard this name of like the Skye shot before in reference to any of the, I don't know, any Elvish legend.
Haven't heard of the bow. One of the things that is a little bit odd here is weapons are not typically inscribed with a name. That's a little bit weird, at least in Elven society. This one being named Skye Slayer.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything to you particularly.
Okay. I guess what I'm trying to do / think of is Alith is like looking around and thinking about, you know, the fact that there's like these 7 pillars and that there were 7 members of the Conclave of Shields, but that these don't seem to be necessarily weapons that would match 7 kind of like elvish figures, especially looking around at her compatriots and seeing that they're pulling out weapons with like different languages that are not elvish inscribed on them.
And that there's also 8 pillars, not 7.
Right, sorry, there's 8 pillars. So basically she's just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's a little off.
Les?
Just directing this towards the rest of the party. So, just a quick thought. Seems like we're being kind of tested at this point to a certain degree. What if... It seems like this crystalline thing has its hands out, waiting for something to be placed in them. What if we're supposed to put these weapons in its hands, and what if these weapons are the thing it uses to attack us? Like choosing our own destruction kind of thing.
Can we put not one of these weapons, like someone have some like really rinky-dink like stick?
Yeah, is one of the weapons a bit more busted up than the others, maybe? Like
I
on
put the 10-foot pole in its hands.
Just give us.
Actually, no, I don't want to part with that.
Oh, sorry, Allura, you go ahead.
I've got a steak knife.
Oh, what I was gonna say is I think we touched on that already, that the hands don't seem to fit like any of the weapons like holding things. That I don't think any of these weapons are supposed to go to the golem. Jordy, am I right in that?
Well, the hands are a little bit big for the weapons, but it could still wield them by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay. Sorry, I thought it was like the opposite. I thought it had tiny hands.
Oh no, the golem is like 10 feet by 10 feet. It's almost twice all of your sizes. It's massive. And its hands are big, but the weapons like would still fit in it. It's not like it has like oversized gloves, like baseball glove versus a baseball, right? Or opposite, where like tiny hand for a really big ball. No.
Sorry, yeah, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I'm just silently like laughing because I was picturing like a Donald Trump situation of tiny hands.
It's tiny hands.
Little finger hands.
Come on, get out that image. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on mute while I giggle.
No worries. So one thing I will just add here quickly is, Les, as you kind of turned around and looked at everyone, you saw that Hope and Leaf were like both looking over a single weapon. You kind of would have come over. You would actually recognize this language.
At which weapon?
They're looking at the Warhammer right now.
The Dwarven one?
Yep. So the Warhammer has got Dwarvish script on it, but the language is not Dwarvish. You recognize it as Primordial.
I know this one.
And you
I know this one.
kind of take a second and think about it and like let them pull it all the way out of the sheath and look at it. And it has the name. The
Warhammer's in the sheath?
Yep. All the weapons are sheathed.
How does the Warhammer get sheathed?
So it's a long handle. So the handle is inside a sheath, and then it kind of comes up and wraps over the top to lock the piece in place. So pulling it out of the sheath, you recognize the name Peacebringer.
Peacebringer. It's a pretty good name.
That's the Warhammer?
Warhammer, yeah.
Okay. I'll go. Whatever is nearest to me that has not been looked at, I will poke at.
All right. Do you want to look at a great axe or a great sword?
Great sword.
Great sword. Okay. What languages do you speak?
Two-hander.
You asked me this already. Common, Elvish, and Draconic.
Common, Elven, and Draconic. Okay.
But is there like?
It's a sneaky huge sword.
You do not recognize the language here at all.
Cool. Anybody got this one?
Does anybody speak Celestial?
I think Hope does.
No, they're Bahamut.
Nobody has Celestial? So nobody's able to read this one, unfortunately.
Cool.
looks
I'll
pretty.
pop over to the next one that...
All right, so going over to the Great Axe. This one you pull out, and you do recognize the script is very similar to the longsword that Les had pulled, but this one Hope does recognize as Infernal.
Hey.
And the name on this one is Widowmaker.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's badass.
Golden IPA.
Was this on the axe? Sorry, Jordy.
This was on the Great Axe, yeah.
Can I read? Is there any more writing other than the name, or is it just?
It's just the single name. So we'll say, for sake of brevity, you know that the weapons are now safe. All of you start to open them up and you discuss amongst yourselves. So Infernal, we know, so that's Widowmaker for the Great Axe. Cool. Celestial, nobody knows that, but that is the Great Sword. Primordial is the Warhammer, and that's named Peacebringer. The longsword, nobody knows, but you know that it's based on the Infernal script.
Yeah, Abyssal.
Abyssal. The Morning Star is Draconic, and it's named Soul Render.
Very cool.
The Battle Axe is in Undercommon, and its name is Doomgiver.
Extremely cool.
Oh, cool.
The Maul is in Dwarvish, and it is labeled Shieldbreaker.
What I have a feeling that my sword is going to have a weird name like Glenn or something. Like, it's just not going to be as cool as the others.
Sorry, Jordy, what was the last weapon that you said was Shieldbreaker?
A maul. So it's like a two-handed, basically just a big stone on the end of a stick.
Sweet, thank you. It feels very prescient, or like very like of the time, considering there's this magical shield that could potentially be broken. Okay.
Oh yeah, I noted that too. Wow, I was like,
Can I think in my head, super quick? Hey, you know Abyssal at all? All you great dragon smarts?
I prefer not to deal in the languages of the unclean. But, did I hear Celestial?
Yeah, one of them had something with Celestial on it.
Let me take a look.
Excuse me. Oh my god, kill myself with that voice.
Celestial weapon.
So the Celestial weapon is the Greatsword, and its name is Oathbreaker.
Ooh.
That right there, that's Oathbreaker. Just so you know.
What I'll get you to do, Hope, actually, is I'll get you to make an intelligence check for me.
Thank you, because that
Yeah, I thought for some reason that somebody spoke Abyssal.
So intelligence?
Intelligence, yeah.
19.
19. We'll say with a D4 because Leaf would have helped you. So this one is, you know enough of the Infernal script with your background that Abyssal is like, it's not a far shot. It's not like German where it's like completely random and you have no clue. It's a little bit closer. So it is Abyssal, and the blade you can surmise would be named Mornblade.
So what you're saying that is it's kind of like French and Spanish?
It's kind of like English and Italian, where like some things are close and some things are totally random.
Oh, they use this for music.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the name of it?
Mornblade. Like,
Mornblade?
Yeah, like as if you're mourning someone.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
There's a noon knife over there, and then a evening axe on the wall.
Okay, so do we think we have to give one of these as an offering to this golem?
I mean, that's what I thought.
Well, we can try that. How about?
I ain't giving this.
Okay.
Which one does no one really think we can use that well?
I'm taking this black bladed sword for
So
sure.
Mornblade is what?
So Mornblade is the longsword,
The black bladed longsword.
and then the greatsword is Oathbreaker.
Right.
And the,
Which one is Soul Render?
Soul Render is the Morningstar.
Morningstar. And which one is Doom Giver?
Is the Battle Axe.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
somewhere in Finland, a black metal band was just born. But I gotta say, I love these names. This is so cool.
Was that Draconic on it?
Draconic was Soul Render. It's the Morningstar.
Okay.
Surrender. Surrender your soul, surrender.
Are any of these a simple weapon? These are all.
These
like,
are all martial weapons.
Cool.
These
Oh.
were all 80s hair metal band songs.
I have the mullet.
Surrender.
No one uses Warhammers, right? Shall we drop that thing in its big
Yeah.
mitt?
Full Peacebringer as well, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Well,
big.
the Warhammer would probably fit like all like in both hands rather
Yeah.
than two different weapons.
I mean, yeah, if we're gonna give something, hopefully for it to not fight with us. Peacebringer sounds like the.
Yeah. Big mineral mitt.
Do we have any, like Allura, I think you have this kind of now. Do we have a way to identify what these things do before we potentially put one in the hands of someone that's going to come to life?
Yeah.
Attack us?
You have them.
I can do.
Oh, you have identified, right?
Two. I think I can do two.
Do we have
Well,
the
you can
books?
also, it's a ritual, so you could take 10 minutes and do it for free.
I can do this if we want to take like an hour. If you guys want to do a short rest,
We ain't
I
going
can
nowhere.
do all of them.
We can totally short rest, I think.
Doesn't seem like 1 o'clock or anything.
Yeah, I can do. Oh, it's only 1 minute.
So it's 1 minute if you cast it. It's you add 10 minutes if you want to do it without using a spell slot.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely look and see what some of these are. Do we want? I can check
Definitely.
the Peacebringer, the one that we're thinking of giving to our golem friend, or does anybody have strong preferences on where they want me to start?
I mean,
Angel.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
keen to know what this bow does, but I'm also like, let's just get the thing that we're going to give to the dude first.
Yeah, that's my thought, so we don't get too attached to it. We all find out they do incredible things. This is gonna sting a little more.
All right. So Les, you would have healed another d6 by now.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, do we want me to try looking at all of these?
Mhm.
It'll take
Do it.
66 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Why not?
Sure.
8.
It'll take 88 minutes.
88.
Take an hour and a half.
We're fine.
All right, is everyone okay with that? Me
Yeah.
spending some time? All right, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
Peacebringer.
Okay. So sitting down, Les, you can heal another d6 because this is going to take 11 minutes. You sit down, you place the Warhammer on the ground, you spend the 10 minutes of setting up the ritual. The chalk that you pull out to be able to write on the ground, the very intricate runes that you draw using your blade in the air that kind of imprint themselves onto the ground to allow you to do this. The final minute of actually casting the spell, expending such a tiny amount of magical energy of any kind. The Identify spell is released. You feel that the blade is magical. You know that because Leaf had cast Detect Magic, and all of the weapons were magical. And the Warhammer, I should say, not the blade. The Warhammer is definitely magical. You know that. But the Identify spell, for some reason, does not seem to be giving you any response. Something seems to be interfering with the spell at the moment.
Bum, bum, bum. Maybe it's this crystal dude.
Has anyone used magic down here?
Leaf just used Detect Magic.
Yeah,
And your spell worked. Like, it was able to succeed.
Right,
it just,
it's not
whatever
like
it was being blocked, as if you just couldn't find out the specifics on the weapon for whatever reason.
Try it on a different one.
I'm not getting anything, but I'll try. Alith, you were really keen on that bow. Do you want me to take a look at it next? I will try.
You are muted.
All right, so trying it on the bow. Les, you heal another d6 in this time.
Oh, yeah.
And Allura, again, you go through the same procedure. Kind of like, okay, maybe this was just a one-off, right? Like maybe Leaf's thing was wrong. You cast Identify on the bow. Again, you get some kind of indication that the bow is magical. And again, whatever it is seems to be being blocked from your view. Something seems to be interfering with your ability to figure out exactly what these weapons are and what they do.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know why, but I'm getting some interference.
Should we maybe try, well, if we're not getting this, do we want to just move ahead with putting this, this peace bringer?
Yeah, be careful.
All right. Do we all have one of these in our hands?
I've got the longsword.
Yeah, might as well.
Just randomly holding whichever one is next to
I
me.
know what's like not being held by someone.
So there's 3 weapons not being held.
Okay. What are they?
It's up to
Great
you.
Axe, Warhammer, and the mace, I think.
The maul?
Yeah.
So the longsword and the greatsword are both being held.
Who has the greatsword?
I assume me. I looked at it earlier, but
Okay. You've got the longsword?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moon blade.
Elite has the longbow. Leaf, what are you carrying?
I'll take either the maul or I'll take the maul. Like I can't use any most of us can't use.
You can use them, you just don't get your proficiency when you're attacking with them.
I mean, I'll just carry it
The
because.
only thing that I would get proficiency with would be the longsword.
Sorry, Jordy, I do want to caveat. Can I one-hand carry this? Because for me, it's like having a shield up. That's more what I'm.
Which one?
The maul.
The maul weighs so much that you're not able to actually one-hand carry it.
Okay, yeah. Is there one that isn't being used that I can one-hand carry?
That's up to you guys. What's not being used? So the Morning Star, the Battle Axe, the Longsword, the Warhammer, those are all the ones that are one-handed.
Okay, cool. I'll take the Morning Star.
Okay.
Oh, that's the only one I was. Okay, I'm just not gonna pick one up, and there's not really anything that will give me any sort of an advantage.
Okay. All right. So taking your time, taking the Warhammer and placing it on the hands.
Yeah, everyone else is carrying one of those other ones, so I'll go do that.
Okay.
Do the cool backflip away.
All right. So
Gymnastics.
you take up with the Warhammer, kind of on your tiptoes because it is a little bit out of your reach, but you just are able to pop it into the hands there. And as you do so, as the weapon is placed, the eyes of the statue flash bright blue, and a voice echoes off the walls.
Peace! You who would wield these weapons of war wish to make peace? Then show me your commitment to finding it.
And all of the weapons that you're holding that were on each of the plinths just turn to ash in your hands.
Of course they do.
And
Of
the statue grasping the warhammer in both hands raises it up over its head and goes to make a swing at you, Allura. Do you do anything?
I
Take it.
yeah, I
Or take
duck
it.
down
Take it,
and
take
like I don't like jump out, but I definitely like kind of kneel and yeah, try like in like a
You're trying not to be aggressive.
yeah, I'm trying not to be aggressive, but like if I maybe miss it, but his swing, then I do, but like I'm not moving.
Allura like matrix dodges down low.
So are you actually dodging the attack, or are you just kneeling and basically accepting it?
Yeah.
That doesn't answer which one.
You're kneeling.
Do you want to dodge, or do you want to kneel and accept it?
I'm not dodging because I don't want to like jump away.
I mean,
Okay.
that answers the question.
Yes, you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
Okay, so you just kind of seeing the warhammer being raised up over the head, the hammer striking down, everything telling you to flee, but you're just kind of like, no, standing my ground, and the warhammer stops an inch away from the side of your head instantly.
You have chosen wisely.
The golem takes a knee, extending the warhammer towards you.
Use this weapon not for the pleasure of the fight, but for the calm of what comes after.
And as you take the hammer, the golem rapidly cracks at its joints before shattering into purple dust, which swirls in the air for a moment before swirling across the room and forming the visage of a door that silently swings open on the opposite side.
Woo!
You take the hammer, go bam.
Where is...
Okay, so
Damn it!
that's
Where'd you get my
hilarious
fucking
because
sword?
it's the one that everyone's like, I want that.
But it was
But I think it was still the right choice because of the name. Like,
Yeah, that was
we
that was
chose.
why we wanted to give it.
Yeah.
And there's
because
the door
he-
on the other side.
Yay!
Allura's heart is pounding, but
Yeah. But you take the warhammer, and it feels light. And going back, because you had cast Identify on it, as you place your hand on it, all of a sudden your mind just kind of clears, and you feel all of the knowledge that had been blocked suddenly entering into your mind on what the weapon actually does. So I'll go ahead and send you that in Slack.
Oh!
Woo!
It's sick
What would happen if we get one of our other weapons with these scary names? It'd be like, Monster? You can't mourn a star? Fuck you! Bam.
So this is Peacebringer.
if we had picked Shield Breaker,
oh,
Oh, yeah.
We would have had someone that broke a shield for us. That would have been cool.
Yeah. I feel like they were those were like the only options.
I don't know. I really liked Cheek Kisser and Hand Holder. Those are my favorites.
Mournblade could have also been.
Okay, so Amanda, I sent it to you directly. It's up to you if you want to read it to everybody.
Oh man, I wish. I can hold it. Just saying.
We want to continue into this next room while we're walking and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Are we? I thought this might have been a time for Jordy to be like, and that's where we're leaving it. This
We'll
session.
go through the
All right,
door
all right,
and then
all right.
we'll get that.
Okay.
Okay.
So we go
Don't
to
worry,
the next room.
I know. I got my
Sorry,
breakpoints.
Jordy.
So, Allura, do you want to read that to everybody, or want to keep it for yourself?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, is this, Jordy? Would this be pertinent to like the next room, maybe?
You don't know.
Or I
Oh.
like that. You tease.
Okay. Peacebringer. There's no description of what it looks like, but you've already described it. Okay, so magic warhammer, martial melee weapon. Attunement required. Damage is 1d8 bludgeoning. Modifier is strength. And properties versatile 1d10. What does that mean?
If you hold it with two hands, it does a D10 instead of a D8.
Okay. On a hit, the target is overcome with the urge to stop fighting,
Nice.
giving the creature disadvantage on its first attack roll or saving throw made before the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Additionally, on a hit, you gain advantage on the next attack roll or saving throw you make before the end of your next turn.
Damn.
That's crazy. This ability does not stack, so basically it happens only when you first attack.
Yeah, you get a one freebie.
So yeah, it's basically just to be like, if a character gets 2 attacks per turn, they don't go whack whack. You have disadvantage twice on your next 2 attacks, and I have disadvantage on my next 2 attacks.
Right. So it's
Once per attack.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
Alrighty.
This is handy.
So
Be crossing over to the next door.
So stepping through the door, a 20-foot straight hallway lined with ever-burning flame opens into a much larger room, about 25 feet across to the opposite wall, where a shimmering section of writhing, dark purple liquid, gas, you're not sure, but it seems to envelop part of the wall. And taking a breath, you immediately notice the smell of caustic burning, as if the air itself were made of poison, and you have to stifle a cough. Ahead, as you round beyond the end of the hallway, a 12-foot tall stone statue kneels, with a large sword placed point down into the floor. Very similar to another one that you had seen before.
Yeah.
Just beyond the statue, a half circle of lightly bubbling green liquid forms a kind of moat around a 25 by 25 foot plate of solid silver. Settled atop the silver rests a massive, bloated form. A pair of muscular arms and legs with a long tail sprouted with jagged spikes. Burning green eyes are sunk into a leathery face, and jutting out from its head are a pair of sweeping razor-like horns. Its open maw is filled with row after row of serrated teeth, dripping black and red ichor onto the silver beneath its immense form. And that's where we're going to cut this week's episode off.
Oh,
So I'm going to go ahead and drag you guys into that one.
Give me the hammer, give me the hammer, give me the hammer, give me the hammer.
And
Jordy,
on the left side
as
here.
that figure comes into view,
Yep.
Achaidh is going to click the button on the dagger of venom, just to
Okay.
give you a heads up on that.
Yep. All right,
So.
so give me 1 sec. I just want to
As that
quickly...
figure comes into view, Leaf's gonna let out a real tiny fart. Just a little.
Oh, did I not? Oh, shoot. Sorry, I didn't save this guy. Give me 1 sec. I've got to quickly
Dang.
grab it. So you can see what it actually looks like. Come on.
Creepy demon lizard thing.
Kako demon. Yeah, I fought these things in Doom. I'm ready to go.
Man, I'm so happy I didn't dodge that attack.
Yeah.
It was a good call. Sorry, guys. I apologize. This is taking
Oh, good.
a sec.
That's A-okay. Don't apologize, Jordy. It's your birthday. You can do what you
It's my birthday, and I'll fuck it up because I want to.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Nice player. I want to know what all these other
Fucking
things
weapons
were.
do, I know. Black,
I'm
I'm a
so
sucker.
sorry you didn't get a cool bow.
I'm actually legit mad. I think if we
Second
had thought
time.
that the rest of them would crumble, it would have affected the way that we picked the weapon a little bit differently. But I think we thought there was a clue in the name.
Damn.
I'll be able to tell you guys after.
Nice.
That's
What
the
was
second time we've come across really epic weapons and then they just fucking crumple to dust after getting them.
What was the name of the bow?
Sky Slayer.
Sky Slayer.
Oh, okay, cool. You're gonna
So that's what you see.
tight. And sorry, is that restrained in any way, or it's just kind of hanging out?
It seems to just be like bloated, kind of resting on top of the silver, but you do notice that there are a lot of dents on the top of the silver.
That thing was terrifying. We're fighting a goddamn doom demon.
It's time to rip and tear.
From what you saw of an entity walking across the floor, burning where it stepped, this matches that description.
I actually really like the idea that this thing did all the puzzles to get down here.
It's so smart. So smart.
Handling
Smartest
those tiny
demon.
keys with its giant
Those tiny
claws.
keys. That's why it's so mad. It just couldn't get through those rooms in time.
Trying to
Damn.
get this fitted correctly for the stream, but whatever. This is good
Oh
enough.
man, this is exciting.
So-
I'm ready to throw
This is going to be a fun one. This is a Sire of Insanity. Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't like that
but
name
best
of
you
that.
can tell, your passive stealth. This thing does seem to be obsessed with impacting against that silver plate. So,
Okay.
And it is denting. It is bending inwards. So you guys are going to be able
it's
to make
trying
some
to-
calls. As
It's
what
trying
you
to
want.
let what's his face out. Gotta stop
Yeah.
him. Gotta stop him from releasing garbage.
Here we
Oh,
go.
let's go. I'm ready. Jordy,
Um,
it's only 10:13. I got like 8 more hours in.
Fine, yeah. Let's just
Bye.
take it right now.
Yeah,
Kidding.
bye. But yeah, best you can tell. So you can kind of see there's that purple thing directly across the room from where you guys are. That, based on what you had read, planar portal.
Oh shit!
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see where things go next week. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for sticking around with us. Thank you guys for suffering through all of my incessant puzzles. I hope at least some of those were fun.
Jordy, I love puzzle. Like I liked those puzzles.
Yeah, I knew the door one would fuck with you because I was just like, it's gonna take like we're gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was just like, yeah, it made me happy.
Brute forced a puzzle.
Oh yeah, like I've had people try to brute force that before, where it's like, because I will admit this is one I reused from another session, but yeah, where they were literally trying to hold every single door open 1 through 10,
Nice.
but it doesn't do anything because it just takes you back to the original door.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's that lateral thinking.
Another magical item.
but yeah, so
Cool.
thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys sticking around, and we'll see you back here next Monday, because Kevin, you've got Beyond the Realms coming back.
We got 3 straight nights of D&D next week. They got Beyond the Realms coming back next week because they couldn't make the date that we set, so they're going to be coming right back next week for a good old their first arc ender fight, which is going to be good. And then this show on Tuesday, and then the Phalai on Wednesday for another big fight. So it's going to be a good week of D&D.
It's gonna be sick. All right, awesome. Have a great weekend, everybody, or week, I should say, and we'll see you back here soon enough. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.